Hello. What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all, and Bloomburrow release day, sort of, to y'all. Good to see ya. So you probably noticed we're motoing today, and that's because Arena is kind of not working. I don't know if you saw... If you're wondering what's wrong with Arena, there's a whole bunch of things, but this was my favorite. I was trying earlier, I could actually log in. Now you can't even log into Arena. It's like completely dead. So I logged in and I was trying to record this mono blue budget deck, and we died with our mono blue deck. And then I went to sideboarding. That's gonna be a tough one. And it was a completely different deck.
This is not the same.
So Arena is just all kinds of messed up at the moment. So the good news is we still get to Bloomburrow. We're just gonna Bloomburrow and do some drafting on Magic. Online. We could play Modern, but I don't know. We're waiting for Nadu to be banned, so I don't think there's much of a point in bashing new Bloomburrow cards into Nadu in Modern. So we'll do some limited. We'll do a little bit of limited. Hopefully everyone is having an amazing day. So let's do our reminders and jump into a draft, and we can talk about whatever as we go along. Hopefully everyone's having a great day. Dogboy, Dougie, Aramy, Queenie, Labrador, Bucket, Cow is. Hopefully y'all doing super well today. So reminders. If you don't force frogs, I'll be upset. I have not done a single draft. No drafts with this set. I have not played limited at all. Frogs are my favorite. Actually, we were going to play frogs in standard before Arena broke. So frogs will be coming, I promise. It's going to be coming. Going to be on a holiday. Ooh, nice. Holidays are always good. Frogs are legit. It's a trap. Are they in limited? So what is good in limited? All right, reminders real quick. Replay YouTube. This we invite all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff from Bloomburrow coming up on the YouTube and other stuff as well. So keep it out for that. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. If you get a free goldfish sticker, just let them know you want one in your order notes and they'll hook you up. So what are we looking for? Lizard's good. I mean, obviously there's some bombs, right? Like if you get a Maha or something, you probably just go with it. Awfuls, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Well, let's do it. Draft number 1. Let's get in the queue. You'll get a bird in Modern or scammed in Legacy. Vintage is only safe haven. You know that when Vintage is the only format where Tarmogoyf sees play, or sees the most play, you know that's a sign that something's wrong with the multiverse. Bats are great. Flying is incredibly important. I feel like birds, I think birds are going to be one of the worst tribes in Constructed, but I bet birds are really good in Limited, because Blue Light Flyers is a pretty traditional, just like play a bunch of stuff, swing with a bunch of stuff kind of archetype. Elbezity and Mr. Peaches, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Big Soup Jeffrey, thank you. Are you trying to draft something specific? Not especially. This is my first draft of in Bloomburrow altogether, so I don't really know. I guess we'll just go where the packs take us. I would say I enjoyed frogs. When we played frogs in standard, I really liked it. So if we get a good frog, I will try frogs just because I like frogs and I like their play style. But I mean, I think we go with like whatever we open, we'll go with it. I won't make people like Gavin or Mark Rosewater for not being banned. It's entirely the shareholders' fault. Is it? I mean, I don't think Gavin or Marrow have responsibility for bannings. I don't know if it's all shareholders, though. There's someone at Wizards that their responsibility is to ban stuff or not ban stuff, or a group of people. So maybe the shareholders are part of it, although I actually don't get that argument with Nadu in specific. Like, is Nadu really selling that many packs at this point? If anything, I think you could make an argument, and maybe this isn't true, but I think you could argue that it's not selling packs because it's turning people off to playing Modern right now, and those people might be buying Modern Horizons 3 if they were hyped about it. It's just like a $8 rare or something, though. If it was the $50 Chase Mythic, I would be much more like, okay, yeah, I could see how that's like, people might be buying packs in hopes of opening this card, but I don't know if people are like actually doing that for Nadu just because all right, GG. Well, I think I know what we might be doing here. I think I know what we might be picking. Any ideas, chat? What we should pick? Pack one, pick one here. Pack one, pick one. Maha, its Feathers Knight. So Maha is just an absurd card. Anyway, like 5 mana, 6/5, flying trample, war discard a card, creatures your opponents get all based off this is one. It's a really good card. I think it's also a valuable card. I'm gonna look real quick. Let's take a peek. Maha. It's Feathers Knight. It might not be that value. It's only like $3, $4. So it's like not bad. The biggest hits value wise are Kitsa is like 25, $30. Mockingbird, Thundertrap Trainer. So kind of the blue cards. I mean, I'm not even looking at the rest of the pack. I think at Maha, it's got to be a bomb, right? It's got to be a bomb. What do you think of the Commander Quarterly update? I was gonna talk about that actually. So there's a command. What are we pick? Let's get through these packs, and then remind me, and we'll talk about it because it's actually interesting. What are we taking pick 2? So Bushy Bodyguard. So what goes with black? What goes with Maha? Obviously, things that turn it into a Wrath. Starscape Cleric might be fine. So we could be Bats with Maha. Starscape Cleric, 2 mana, 2/1 flyer. And you can Offspring it for 3, and whenever you gain life, opponent loses a life. Doesn't do anything with Maha in specific. Pawn Prophet's good, but those aren't our colors. Starlit Soothsayer. Beginning your end step, if you gain a lost life, Surveil 1, 3 mana, 2/2 flyer. I mean, I think the best black card is just Starscape Cleric, probably. Red-Black Lizards. Yeah, let's take I think the Cleric's probably pretty good. It's got, I mean, it's two flyers in one. Bandit's Talent. Can we Bandit's Talent in limited? Bandit's Talent. So, this is one of my favorite constructed cards in the set. ETB discard, level up bad rack, level up again, bad card draw. You gotta have your opponent empty-handed, but Wick Patrol, 6 mana, 5/3. When it enters, opponent mills 3 cards. Then, when it enters, mill 3 cards. When you do, target creature opponent controls get think of X, and X, or X is the greatest mana value among cards in your graveyard. That's actually not bad. When it attacks, defending player loses life, you gain a life. Target opponent discards 2 cards, and if you control a rat, just Surveil 2. Polywop is also good with frogs. Yeah, I mean, this is a 2-for-1 on a body. We could also be rats. I kind of forgot that rats is also a black-based tribe. I guess we're just like mono black. We're like mono black control at this point. We have a new donation from also. We got the Twitch fix, so I can get into Streamlabs and so forth again. We have a new donation from McCary, $20 donation. I feel like I'm going to hell for still gemming my shielders and feature the schisms with 4 temporary lockdowns on the sideboard. As much as things change, as much they stay the same. How good is Thoughtstalker Warlock? 3 mana, 2/2 menace. ETB's Thoughtseize as long as your opponent was dealt damage. Is there something else we should be? Thank you so much for the donation. It is weird, isn't it? I mean, it's got to just be this thing, right? It's gotta just be Thoughtstalker. Maybe we're actually, could we be monocolored? I feel like monocolored's probably kind of rare and limited, but maybe we're just monocolored. Natureland, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super review, thank you. It is weird, right, with the new rotation schedule to have cards like that stick around. I do think we're gonna see a pretty big change, though. Well, we might not be taking a black card now. We might have moved out of the range of black. What is this? Waxwane Witness. 4 mana, 2/4 Flying Vigilance. When you gain or lose life during your turn, gives +1/+0 until undeterred. Black discard, like a slightly upgraded Mind Rot. Portent of Calamity, probably not for this deck. A bunch of decent green cards if we want to be black-green. Random 2-drop, Curious Forager. What are we taking here? The white card? Yeah, we could still be bats. We could be black-white bats. Man, double Polywallop. Frogs is gonna be good. Green does look open. I'm actually gonna take the Curious Forager. So I feel like we have a ridiculous bomb in Maha. It's probably gonna die at some point. And then this will give us a way that we can get it back from our graveyard. And maybe we don't end up doing it and we just ignore the whole thing, and that's fine. But I think, yeah, we do need to find some removal. This pack, we're getting towards the end. Ravine Rider. 1 mana, 1/1 menace, 2 to pump. That seems kind of bad. Nettleguard is fine. What is this? Heirloom Epic. 1 mana, 4 draw a card. For each mana in this ability's activation cost, you can tap untap creature. Oh, that seems kind of janky. Well, I guess we take the black card just to signal. I don't know if we're actually playing any of those cards. None of those cards seem very good. Ooh, what is this? At the beginning of your upkeep. Beginning of combat, rather. Each opponent loses life, you gain a life. Pay 2, sack it, you draw 2 cards only as a sorcery. So that is very good with bat synergies, right? Or at least, like, reasonable. Is it good? It is 4 mana. It is 4 mana, but it does trigger all the bat synergies. Oh, is Ravine Rider actually good? I mean, I guess in the late game, it does pump a lot. What about Dreadsight? Do we want card draw like this? Surveil 2, draw a card? Let's try it. No, don't go to Finch form. All right. Yeah, let's take the card draw. Ooh, wow, black is actually super open. 4 mana, 4/3. Thornblade Intimidator. Offspring of 3. When this creature enters, target opponent loses 3 unless they sack a non-land permanent, discard a card. Is Monolith actually really good? Oh, maybe we should have taken it. What about Thornblade Intimidator? It's either that or the Soothsayer. Offspring is such a good. It seems like such a good limited mechanic. That's another. Yeah, we'll take the 4-drop. I think that's fine. It's got some flexibility for the late. Ooh, at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may forage. Whenever you forage, put a counter on it. Are we actually gonna be squirrels? We might be squirrels. I feel like Thornblade's probably fine. I think it's kind of. We're getting late in the pack. Well, this is removal. 4 damage, target attacking, blocking your tap creature. If you have a bat, you get to gain 3 life. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting Bat Bob. Well, we'll take this. Stick to the black plan for now. When it enters, make a food. Sack it, destroy target non-land. Oh, that's removal. That's horrible removal, but it is technically removal. And it works with our foraging plan. We'll take it. Offspring feels essentially like draw a card. I mean, it is, right? It's like draw a card, but you're drawing a 1/1 copy of whatever you cast. Wow, black is. We might get rewarded for this later. I feel like black is black like a bad color in this format or something, because I feel like black is super open. We're getting so many black cards so late. What do you think about my deck? Still figuring out how to make it better. Ooh, let me see, Garrick. Outlaw Crime Lizards. Yeah, lizards are interesting. When I first saw them, I was like, oh, they don't have a lot of support. But when you consider the crime synergies that they have naturally, I think that kind of explains it. Like, I feel like if you made lizards powerful, plus they had the crime synergies, they might just be too good. I mean, I think it looks pretty solid overall. What about the 1 mana pinging, hired claw or whatever? Ooh, what do we get? Ooh, another Wick Patrol. Maybe our removal is just all the Wick Patrol. Oh, this is actually, okay, interesting. So there's Valley Flamecaller. We're not taking Valley Flamecaller. Bramble Guard Veteran is good if we end up in green, which I honestly don't know if we will need to end up in green. We might be mono black. Another Wick Patrol, which seems kind of bomby. There's also Early Winter. 5 mana exile a creature, or 5 mana target opponent exiles an enchantment they control. I feel like Wick Patrol is just better removal, right? It's gotta be better removal. It's only 1 more mana, and we get a 5/3 body, and it synergizes with our graveyard stuff. Rorik's Venture for the 4-year resub. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much. We're gonna take it. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Ooh, this is removal, and it makes a food for foraging. How good is Saver? Is -2 enough to kill things? Wait, Arena's broken. What? It's release day. I'm actually kind of surprised. So traditionally, whenever a new set drops, Arena crashes. It had done much better for like the last year. I've been actually surprised. Oh yeah, that's right. We also have a Maha, and it's really good with Maha. I was actually kind of surprised. What's the other option? This 5-drop flyer. I think we just take the Saver. For the last year, it had done surprisingly well, like shockingly well. But then today, oh boy, it is back to about as bad as I've seen Arena be on a release day, like ever. Elf and Meanstig, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. A big super chat for you. Thank you. 49 months and 6 months. So many resubs. Thank you, everyone. When did I start playing Magic? Original Ravnica era. So like 2005-ish? 2 mana 1/3. When it attacks, defending player loses life, you gain a life. Meh. What about this? Changeling, Reach. Put a creature from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. Fireglass Mender, second main phase if your opponent lost life. Impulse, draw-ish. Could hexproof up our Maha, I guess. I kind of want to be mono black, honestly. How good are the changelings? There's always like a changeling tax, right? Like with something like this, its stats are probably like 1 or 2 power and toughness below what you'd expect for being like a good card. I guess we'll just take the 2-drop for curve purposes. Hopefully we don't actually... Oh, another Warlock. Oh, God. The Warlocks make the 1-drops a lot better. Like, these menacing 1-drops get a lot better if we're curving them into Thought Stasher Warlock. Danifloss for the 3 resub. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big sub for you. Thank you. I'm like slightly interested in the Monolith, but we don't have a lot of synergies for it. I feel like Monolith is much better if you are a bat deck. They can really benefit from the gaining and losing life shenanigans. There's also an Alania, but we're nowhere near Alania-ing. Ooh, we're running out of black cards to take. I guess this is fine. It's not exciting as a 1/3, but it does turn on the Warlock, so we might actually just be mono black. We might just get the consistency of mono black. Yeah, Warlock seems very good. I think Warlock is actually a good constructed card even. I'm excited for it. Oh, we could take this. This might be better. Actually, no. I think a 1/3 that pings. Man, no one's drafting Otters. We saw Lani and now Harnesser of Storms. The Otter Spellslinger deck is super open this way. All right, we'll take the Lizard. Oh, man. Speaking of super open, look at these black cards. Black card draw, black removal. We might just take Consumed by Greed. Gets rid of our opponent's biggest creature, and we can get back our Maha with it. Or we could, is this worth it? This actually seems kind of absurd and limited. Is it better than the removal spell? That's the question. It's either Consumed by Greed to get another removal spell, or Osteomancer's Adept to recast our creatures from the graveyard. That conspiracy actually crossed my mind. Oh. Yeah, we gotta take the greed. We gotta take the greed. We gotta do it. We need the removal. Man, so many of these 1-drop wizards. Too many of these 1-drop lizards. I think we got enough removal. Oh, wait, is Wick Patrol not good? Wait, is Wick Patrol or is black just like, did we get everyone else out of black? That's our 3rd Wick Patrol. We might mill ourselves out. Oh, and the early winter. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, if mono black is good, our deck is ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe mono black's not good and we're just heading in completely the wrong direction. Well, we'll take the Monolith now. Put it in the sideboard. Black is so open. Wait, did I not hear a notification? Hey, what's up, W Van House? Yeah, I hear notifications. For things. I don't always see the 10-bit ones. This is our first draft, so we will see how it's going so far. I think good. Like, I feel like this deck only 2 packs in. Come on, let's get a bomb. Wishing well. Come on now. Wow, this is like the worst pack I could imagine for our deck. This is like absolutely not. I guess this is the downside for being mono black. We're like, what are we going to take out of this? Dagger Fang duo? I'm actually a little worried. We might need that changeling that puts cards back on the bottom of your library. That is a sweet swamp. I do like the swamp. 1 less cast for each lizard. Target creature gets +2/+0 when lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. All right, I don't know if we need that. I mean, I guess we can take this. I mean, yeah, I'm just worried about milling out, honestly. We have 3 Wick Patrols, too, but I guess filling our graveyards... Oh, no. Otters is so good. I almost feel like we could have been Otters. I mean, obviously, our deck is, I think, good, too. But we've seen Storm Chaser's Talent, Stormcatch Mentor... There's a lot of good Otter cards coming around. Well, I guess it's another Another Daggerfang duo. We'll sort it out after. Nobody in particular. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So the Commander quarterly update. So here, I was going to talk about it after we finished drafting, but here I was going to pull it up. So here is the... Oh man, my favorite frog. I do love Dream Dew and Trancer. I feel like this card, I tweeted about this earlier. I think this card's actually really good. I think it's way better than people realize. 3 stun counters almost makes it hard removal, and then you get synergies of like being able to bounce it or pick it back up. Another Storm Chaser's talent. The Otter player doing well. I mean, Consumed by Greed is also still good. We'll take another Consumed by Greed. This pack has been less good for us than I imagined, though. Exile Orator from a graveyard. Return another target creature from your graveyard to your hand. That seems fine. Might be better than our triple... Well, I don't know. I don't think we want to play this food thing, probably. We could use more 2-drops. Although Dire Sight, how good is Dire Sight? Surveil 2, draw 2, lose 2. The 2-drop's probably better, right? Do we have enough card advantage? Do we care about card? It's going to be aggro. I think we need the 2-drop. I feel like this format's going to be very aggressive. I feel like it's going to be a very aggro format. There's just so many good 1-drops that I think when it comes down to it, we need to prioritize being efficient and not getting run over by our opponent's 1-drops. That's my guess. It's going to be very aggressive. I mean, plus, wow, and like every rare we've seen out of these packs is just like so good for an Otter Spellslinger deck. This might be one of the worst of them, honestly, but I could still see like getting use out of it there. Dr. Shendor, welcome to the Fishbowl. I don't know if this Cleric's as good in our deck as the Bone Bind Orator. We don't really have synergies for it. We're not going to be triggering it. It's just a flyer. Let's take another Orator. And now we get... Oh, nothing. Literally nothing. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you. Yeah, we opened pack 1, pick 1 Maha, and we just went for it. We just went all in on the Maha. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Vigilance and Reach. I don't think we're playing Psychic Whirl. I mean, maybe. We'll put it in the sideboard. Maybe we could bring it in and, like, against the control deck. Ooh, Scavenger's Talent. Can we do anything with this? Not really. This seems like a tough card to play in Limited. I think it's a good constructed card, but it seems like a tough Limited card. When it enters or when you expend 4, put a counter on it. Pay 4, discard your hand. That's not for us, but doesn't seem that bad. You know what? Maybe we take this weird protection spell. I don't think we're going to play it, but... Tangled Humble. 3 mana, 6/6 Vigilance, put a counter on a creature, tap to untap tokens. Oh yeah, we don't have untapped tokens. Well, we take another Corpse Ray Cultivator. I don't even know if we're playing the ones that we do have. Another one of the Lizard Pump spells. To the sideboard with you. We can take the Changeling. I wanted the one that put cards back on the bottom of your library. Well, Vine Reap Winter. Ooh, wow, we got the Dire Sight anyway. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And to the sideboard. And, all right, chat. How good is this deck? This deck has to be good. Yeah, we just don't have the support for it. I think if you're like the Squirrel deck and you can build it, the upside of Scavenger's Talent in Limited, if you can build a deck around it, is your opponent only starts with 40 cards in their deck. So milling them out by making a bunch of food doesn't seem bad. I feel like our deck might be good. It might be good. We don't need to cut that many cards, honestly. We need to cut like 4 cards. Kind of surprised we actually managed to be mono-colored. I mean, we got Maha. Maha's good. We have some slight Maha synergies. Don't need 3 Wicks. I feel like Wick's got to be really good. Maybe, I mean, we did get a bunch of other removals, so maybe we don't need that many of it. We'll see. We'll see. So here is the Commander news. The Commander quarterly update. So, Nadu, of course, not banning anything in Nadu. remains synonymous with drawn-out non-deterministic turns that may or may not end the game. In a lot of ways, it's like Paradox Engine, but it remains to be seen whether its impact on the format will rise to that level. We'll be closely monitoring Nadu in online conversations about it to see if it self-selects to tables and pods that are prepared to deal with it. If you want to share your experiences, blah, 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 reach out to the Discord. So I do think that the comparison's not horrible, but I do think in some ways it is horrible, because Paradox Engine's colorless, right? If Paradox Engine, what made Paradox Engine so problematic is you could just slot it into almost any deck. If you're playing a bunch of mana rocks, it was pretty easy to be like, I'll play Paradox Engine and I'll probably get value out of it, and then I'll accidentally have these big combo turns. Plus, you could be a deck that was dedicated around it. So I get what they're saying with the long combo turns, but I think Paradox Engine it probably shows up way more than Nadu in Casual Commander, just because it's colorless compared to a 2 color card. Not that Nadu isn't busted, and not that it shouldn't be dealt with or banned, because I do feel like the Commander RC should take more actions with Commander. I would like more bannings. The more interesting part to me is actually the silver border part. I'm very curious what you think about this. So, silver bordered cards. Last month, inspired by stickers and attractions, changes in other formats, we started a project that's focused entirely on silver border cards. This includes unset cards, as well as a number of promos that are not officially legal in Commander. The intent of this project is to equip players with the tools they need to communicate their preferences and arrive at a shared set of expectations. We know that silver border cards are often contentious, and often with good reason, but we want to put our collective expertise of the Commander RC in Rules Committee to work classifying these cards as generally fine, the cards that can be fine with a little work, or the cards that people should generally steer clear of. There's a group of folks out there who love playing silver border cards, and we want to remove as much friction as possible in the pregame conversations. This project is set to conclude the end of August. We should have more in September. Very curious what you think about this part. So the part that's interesting to me is I feel like, so they were talking on Twitter today and saying, we're not unbanning silver border cards. Just so that's clear, this isn't going to be these silver border cards are unbanned, but I do wonder if making a list of silver border cards that you say, according to the gods of Commander, the RC, that you say these are generally fine, I wonder if it will kind of have that effect. I'm very curious. Like, I could imagine someone coming up to a random game at a Command Fest or something and having a bunch of silver border cards and people not really wanting to play with them, and then being like, well, these are all the ones that the RSC said were generally fine. What's the big deal? You're kind of being a jerk if you don't let me play with them. So I do wonder if it'll have more of an impact than they think, or actually maybe no one cares and no one's going to play with silver border cards either way, and it's not going to be a thing. But I'm curious if, I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's worth the energy when it comes down to it. Like, is it worth the energy to try to make this official list of silver border cards? Do we even want to pretend like they're worth considering? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I will say many people forget that RC is more guidelines when it comes to Casual Commander. If you jam with your own paper playgroup and you want to ban Nadu, perfectly fine. Same with silver border. Rule 0 discussion playgroup needs to happen more often. Yeah, that's definitely true. If you have a playgroup, none of this really matters. I feel like it's not that hard to keep 5 extra cards on hand to swap out. If silver borders are important to your theme, maybe people decide that they want to play against it. Yeah, I mean, I guess in general, I don't care about silver border cards within reason, which I guess is what they're going for. Like, there's some silver border cards that I think are just, like, silly, but they play pretty fine. On the other hand, if you play a card that's like, you gotta run around and, I don't know, cluck like a chicken and high-five everyone in the room, like, stuff like that, like, no one wants to, I don't think anyone wants to, or not anyone. There could be contexts where that would be actually very fun. If you have, like, your playgroup and everyone's having a good time and it's a party or something, like, maybe it'd be very fun in that context. But those are the cards that I think you don't want. You don't want people to just be playing in general. What are we cutting from this deck? We gotta cut 4 cards. Are these clerics worth it? Can't block. We can't really gain life. I kind of feel like the clerics are not actually that good in our deck. I would lean towards cut 2 clerics. And so this is a 2/3 that we can forage at the beginning of combat to make it a 3/4. and then a 4 or 5, we can forage pretty easily, right? Like, we have graveyard filling here. We have Daggerfang dual fills the graveyard. So I feel like we have enough graveyard filling that it's fine. Really, you think cut Wick Patrol? I kind of feel like Wick Patrol is really strong. Isn't a 5/3 that kills something when it comes down, like, really good? I think we cut the Clerics. I think those are the first ones to go. I kind of feel like we want all 3. I mean, it is 6 mana. It is 6 mana. That's true. And it's probably a fast format. Do we want... What about 3 of these 1-drops? How bad is having 3 of these 1-drops? So we have 3 1-drops, a bunch of 2-drops for removal. We have Consume by Greed, Wick Patrol, Early Winter. We could cut a Dire Sight, too. Dire Sight, depending on the matchup, might just be too slow. Like, spending 3 mana and losing life is great against mid-ranger control, but if our opponent's too aggressive... You think it's just too many Wick Patrols? Everyone seems to want to cut a Wick Patrol. All right. I kind of want to cut a 3-drop because we have this huge 3-drop pile. Is this even good? Is Corpse Ray Cultivator even good? Is it even worth it? At least Daggerfang to us Death Touch, which is something. Shalakino, welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you. Is there anything we should be adding to the deck? That's the other question. Thank you for your subscription. Big tip for you. Thank you. At least 1 Raider. 3 Raiders. What about this? What about keep the Wicks, go down a Raider? No, we can't run. Oh, we had to cut 1 more card still. What about this? How about this? I'm going to keep the Wicks. I think we got to keep the Wicks. Forge is only good in decks that you can use it and abuse it. Yeah, I don't think we can use it and abuse it enough in this deck. This seems reasonable to me. And then just 17 Swamps. Wait, why do they want... Oh, the hybrid cards. 17 Swamps. I mean, consistency should be good. 1 color, Maha's our bomb, a bunch of removal, ways to get our bomb back from the graveyard. I don't know. I think this deck actually seems reasonable. It seems reasonable. 2 Dire Sights is too much. Probably, but I like... Let's try it. We're going to try it. What happened to Arena? So it is set release day for Bloomburrow, and Arena, traditionally at a release day, has some issues with the technology. We were gonna play Arena today. That was the plan, but Arena not currently working today, unfortunately. It kind of worked for a minute when the set first launched, but then it stopped working altogether. It got weirder and weirder. It was just doing these very odd bugs, and then it just stopped working altogether. So we got the Moto safety net. Penthouse be Warner. Welcome to the Fish Bowl. Like, it is funny that every time a set drops, well, it has done better for the last year, but many times when the set drops, Arena doesn't work, and Moto works perfectly. I don't know how the... I don't know how the software from 2002 is outpacing the software from, like, 2018 or whatever. I think my favorite bug was this one. This one I posted about on Twitter. Currently, you can't even log in or do a match, but I completed a match with this budget mono blue deck I was working on for Budget Magic, went to sideboarding, and it was a completely different deck. And I couldn't do anything about it. It just goes back and forth, and then it bugs out, and then you have to concede. I don't even know, how does that even happen? I don't know enough about programming to know how that's possible, but... Old reliable Moto. What are your thoughts about the second main phase changes? Making the M kind of meh. Also can't wait for WotC. Compensation buff green next set because of it. Good news if you're a Nehab player. So I also don't understand how this happened. So Wizards announced they're getting rid of second main phases. We talked about that a couple of streams ago. So they're getting rid of post-combat main phases, turning them into second main phases. So that would mean cards like Nehab suddenly wouldn't work anymore. So there was this big drama. Nehab players very, very upset. My Nehab deck not going to work with extra combat effects anymore. So then Wizards were like, well, hang on a minute. And then they announced, well, actually, we're not going to do that. We're going to start this with future cards, but the current cards are going to keep the old formatting, so your Niheb still works. So in the course of like a week, they went from killing Niheb decks to getting very yelled at by Niheb players, and then reversing course and being like, okay, Niheb can work still. We'll let Niheb work after all. Oh, Wizards. The amount of people hyped for Bloomburrow was way, way bigger than the last few sets. So many friends who don't play MTG tried it because they love the art style of the set. That makes sense. Yeah, that's what I've seen too, is that the flavor and art of the set is just so accessible that people want to try it. And I think it's also, hey, Stone Rain, how are you? Good to see you. I think it's also a knock on some of the previous sets, honestly. I think, in all honesty, yes. Yeah, we're just gonna play Dagger Fang Duo here. Do we mill 2 cards? Probably. We got double consume. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. All right, Wick Patrol. That's fine. We can always get it back with the Consume by Greed if we need to. I think it's also a knock on the last couple of sets where Murders at Carlo Manor in specific got kind of memed on pretty hard, and then even Outlaws of Thunder Junction got a little memed on too. Arena was the top sellers on Steam an hour ago. That's actually super exciting. I want to see more people start playing. It's unfortunate that it is down at the same time. Wait, is that a Moldru? I don't know if I've even looked that hard at all the comments. That card's actually kind of cute. Why are moles not supported more? We need Bloomburrow. I mean, I'm sure they're going to go back, but we kind of need Bloomburrow Part 2 with mole people. There was... Oh, God. When I was growing up, there was this family that... I was a little kid, and now I feel bad because it was probably pretty mean. I never said it publicly, but they look like mole. We call them, me and my brothers and sisters, we call them the mole people because I kind of look like mole people. And now I want a mole people deck. we need more moles. So opponent, what do they do? Discarded rather than taking the 3. I haven't bought any MTG in 5 months. I'm just tired of the perpetual hype machine and 8,000 different versions. Wow, we are like playing the mirror match. Wait. When it enters, target opponent loses 3. We'll just lose 3. That's fine. We'll take the 3. We're at 20. I'm surprised our opponent discarded. It seems pretty easy to not do that. Well, pass the turn. Can we hit our land drop? I really want to Thoughtseize with this Thoughtstalker Warlock, but we got to get in a hit first. Can you play Magic Online on a Mac? Sort of. It is not officially supported on Mac, so if you want to play it on Mac, there's some hoops to jump through. Apparently, there are ways to do it with, like, I don't know Macs that well, but something with like a virtual machine or something. So there are workarounds that let you do it, but you can't just download it and play it. It's not officially supported. Or are you going to Gen Con, Dog a Myth? Is that this weekend? Well, let's do a little thought stock thieving here. Overprotect and Brawler. Gift attack fish. Choose target creature you control. Target creature you don't control. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. Okay, so it's a fight spell. Overprotect. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just take the Brawler. I mean, we have double Edict in hand, so we don't really care about the Overprotect. We'll take the fight spell, and then we can Edict this away next turn and probably win. When I was a kid, I lived my whole life as a mole person. I shop at Costco. Does anyone know how long it takes for the meta-decks to update post-Bloomburrow release on Goldfish? So it's going to take a little bit just because we haven't gotten any deck lists yet. Basically, the deck lists on Goldfish update almost in real time, like within a day. But today is release day, so there hasn't been any Moto Leagues yet. There haven't been paper tournaments. So they'll start updating as soon as we start getting results published from the events. What's the deck today? So we're playing some draft right now, actually. Is it worth gifting a card? So we gift a card to our opponent and we get back our Wick Patrol, which can kill the card they play. That's Oh, these gift cards are very... Hey, what's up, Tuga? How are you? This is actually very interesting. Yeah, like Moto Leagues will be happening now, so those will be happening. I believe some will start being published tomorrow, so... Hey, what's up, Old Town Dad? These gift cards are so... I love the gift mechanic. I really do. Like, I'm sitting here thinking about this random edict that honestly, in every other format, you just snap it off, kill the thing. But now I'm sitting here thinking, like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? So we give them a card, but we also get a card. Our card's going to be Wick Patrol. Is Wick Patrol better than a random card in our opponent's deck? The answer has to be yes, right? It has to be yes. I think it's got to be yes. It's better than a random card. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. All right, so we're going to gift our opponent a card. We are going to get back our Wick Patrol. And then we're going to make our opponent sacrifice their Thornplate Intimidator through their protection spell. It's got to be worth more than a random card in our opponent's deck. Because it can most likely kill that card and leave behind a big body. Showed before release on Sunday, 40 minutes late. Build a deck in 5 minutes. Went 3-1. And as your token conversation of the podcast, using your left shoe as a merit lage is the destroyer thing about paper magic. Wait, did you actually use your shoe as a merit lage? Oh, also, we haven't ranted about this. All right, how many of you did any of you try to get the secret layers yesterday? Hey, thank you for the bids, W. Von Haas. Another good point is Arena hasn't crashed because this is the first time in a year we've had standard rotation. It's also true. Probably a lot of people are super hyped. Did anyone get the secret layers yesterday? I feel like this new secret layer system is not working out well. I really wanted the Monty Python secret layers, but I did not sit on my computer and wait in line exactly when they went on sale, and then they were all sold out. So didn't actually happen. I feel, yeah, that's the problem with this system, right? Like when there's a hyped layer drop like the secret layer ones, first you got to try to clear your schedule. Well, all right. We gifted them into an answer to one of our creatures, so I guess that's fair. I feel like that's kind of... Oh, no. Oh, I'm an idiot. We were supposed to play this Orator. I feel like the system's worse for players than it used to be. All right, opponent. Another Daggerfang duo. Are we milling cards, opponent? Yeah, wow. Still milling. All right, mills a couple cards, plays a land. And... opponent gonna pass. So we know they have that protection spell. I think it's protection spell land. We draw swamp. Well, go to combat. Get in with the witch. Why is Liliana $200? Just scarcity, I guess. It does surprise me that Liliana is more expensive than the Jace. I thought Jace would be the most expensive card. Well, get in with the witch. Or the warlock, rather. Yeah, that's kind of the issue. Oh, speaking of Ticketmaster, I guess this isn't even Ticketmaster, but concert tickets are the worst. So I was gonna go to this concert with my sister. My sister got the tickets, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I decided to get, like, they had this protection plan that was there. It was like, oh, your show's guaranteed, worry free. It was an extra like $10 or $15 a ticket, but I figured it would be worth getting just to be safe. Yeah, sure, whatever, like, go for it. So I ended up, something came up, couldn't go to the actual show. Apparently these ticket insurance things are actually just kind of a scam, and they go very far out of their way to avoid actually having to give you back your money. So learned a tough lesson about insurance in concerts. But who plays Liliana of the Dark Realms? That's the thing. Like, yes, like, it hasn't been reprinted in a while, but who actually plays it? So yeah, little PSA, the ticket insurance thing. Yeah, it makes it sound like, oh, worry free, no problem. But it's actually, yeah. Same with like protection plans or anything. Every time you buy something, they're gonna try to talk you into the protection plan. The math on those is so bad. Like, in reality, you don't want to be paying for those. Huh. How do we do this? So they still have that silly protection spell in hand. Which is now actually kind of becoming annoying. Well, let's just keep attacking, see what our opponent does. Kind of hope they cast the protection spell and we can get him with the second edict. Travel, yeah, I think there could be uses of travel insurance. And that's true. I can't speak for every insurance out there. But I know my recent experience with the concert one was not good. And then I looked up the company and they were all like 1-star reviews. And like 90% of the reviews were like, oh, we couldn't get our money back. They wouldn't give me my money back. So yeah, I'm sure there could be some exceptions. See, a phone, I think, with something that expensive, if you do the math, $5 a month, that's $60 a year. That actually seems pretty reasonable for an item that's that expensive and that easy to break. But when you go and get, like, I don't know, I feel like when I buy random things at, like, Walmart, like, I can't remember. Oh, I can't even remember. It was like a random, like, $30 something, some household, like a coffee maker or something. And they're trying to sell a protection plan. I'm like, it's a $30 coffee machine. Why in the world would I pay for a protection plan on a $30 coffee maker? Like, why is that even an option? Why is that even an option? Let's see. Hey, thank you, Doug. Peblosa, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big Soup Jeffrey, thank you. Opponent gonna block. Sure. Are we gonna pump? No. So we trade off. Do we just play that? You know what? I think we just do it. Sure. So we're going to Wig Patrol. They're going to use their silly pump spell to protect from the Wig Patrol. But then we get the pump spell out of our hand, and it also means our opponent's not going to have enough mana to Bonebind Orator during our turn. They're going to have to do it during their turn if they want to do it. So I think it's worth it. Oh, there's our Maha, too. All right, opponent. All right, opponent. Show us that hexproof. All right, opponent. Hexproofs it up. Well, we have Maha in the graveyard. And a Orator to get it back, or Consumed by Greed to get it back. Pass the turn. This is looking good. This is looking good. Opponent taps. And, oh God. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, we might get milled out. Okay, I'm actually concerned now. Hey, what's up, Pav? How are you? You expired, first time sub. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you. I was just, we passed this too super late. And I was like, it's going to be hard to work in limited. Probably not very good in limited. Good in constructed. And now I think we might lose to it. Found it. Taking up the Scavenger's Talent. Plays their last card. Actually, maybe we're fine. Opponent's at 10. I think we're actually probably fine. Because we just kill this, hit our opponent for set. We just win, right? Essentially win. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we have enchantment removal. We have enchantment removal. Do we hold on to it just in case? No, we don't even need it, right? We shouldn't even need it. Let's just exile the creature. This is fine. Get rid of the Death Toucher. Go to combat. I don't think they mill us enough. Because we hit them down to 2. And then even if they get something back from their graveyard, we have another removal spell, so we should just be good. Combat. Hit ya. Wig Patrol. Doing its thing. Yeah. At least I will say, I don't like mono black heavy enchantment removal, period. But I will say, being 5 mana, this is like, if they have to do black enchantment removal, this is the kind of enchantment removal that I can deal with. Like, I feel like white and green need to be like so much better than black at removing enchantments that it has to be noticeably worse. And I think that's where early winter is. Like, yes, it can deal with an enchantment, but it's an edict, so you can't really control it all the time. And it's 5 mana. So out of all the, yeah, Feed the Swarm, that's the one. That is just too close to being a really good enchantment removal spell for me to be comfortable with. Low-key enchantment removal is good in this set. Before Arena went down, I was 1-0 against green rare level up enchantment. Yeah, I mean, I guess there are a bunch of the class enchantments, so maybe they felt like, what are they doing? Are we about to die? Oh, they have a Wick Patrol. Okay. I mean, this is fine, though, right? So they Wick Patrol. They have to... Oh, I guess they can kill this? They can kill our Wick Patrol? They might have to kill the Menacer, though. All right, they're not going to kill the Menacer. They're going to kill the Wick Patrol, sure. Opponent. Passes. Well, Lizard Warlock it is. Get in, hit ya. Menace. Best mechanic in the set, apparently. Down to 1. And then, Warlock number 2, do a little hand check. And opponent, holding a land. Ooh, okay, it was a creature. Get rid of that, and pass the turn, and all right, opponent. Last shot at it, last shot at it. So how was pre-release, everyone? Did you enjoy pre-release? Sorcery lose a bunch of life is still pretty bad, in my opinion, for Feed the Swarm. Can also hit creatures, though. It's only 2 mana. I mean, yeah, I guess it's true. It is still a step below the best enchantment removal. Red is OP. Interesting. What did you play, Robo Wizard, to go 3-0 with? 0-3? I mean, pre-release, the most important thing is having fun, right? I've enjoyed Infamous Cruel Claw so far. Do you really think about video? Were you, what do you think about a video where you and the crew revisit old ban lists and try to fix more broken cards, like Mental Misstep, to make it so they can come off the ban list? So what do you mean, like redesign them? Like, what would you have to do to make Mental Misstep not need to be banned? Like if you could change the text on the card or whatever? Opponent, Ruthless Negotiation, sure, we'll exile the duo. And I think just win. Well, I mean, that went pretty well. It is funny how many similar cards our opponent has to us. Opponent passes. And the Menace on the Thoughtstalker, which is going to get the job done. Well, this is a grindy match. Yeah, I mean, I think Mental Misstep, it is pretty straightforward. Like, it can't be free. Honestly, you know how you fix it? You know how you fix that card? And we already know how to do it, which is part of what makes it... so, well, I mean, I guess they were just shooting high with the power level, but we already know how to do it, right? In the past, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, Wizards already solved this problem with cards like Invigorate. So Invigorate actually used to see play in Legacy, in fact. I don't know if Legacy, in fact, is still even a thing, really, but 3 mana, target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn, but if you control a forest, rather than pay its mana cost, you can have an opponent gain 3 life to cast it for free. So I think the sneaky fix to Misstep is, if you make it 1 blue mana, it's probably not really good enough, or at least it's a very fringe card. I wonder if it would be safe if you had to control an island. Because I don't think the problem with Mental Misstep is that it's a free counterspell in a blue deck. I think that's okay in a blue deck, especially in Legacy. I think the issue with something like Mental Misstep is it's a free counterspell in a mono green deck or a mono red deck, and it just goes in every deck. So I wonder if that restriction would be enough. If it would be like, you could pay it for its Phyrexian cost as long as you control a basic land type of the proper color. So like Dismember, you'd have to control a swamp. Mental Misstep, you'd have to control an island. And then otherwise you leave the text of the card essentially exactly the same. I think that might actually fix it. Because the issue isn't like the card's power level overall. It's that because it was essentially colorless, every deck could play it. And then you just end up in Mental Misstep wars. Yeah, I would just do it on all Phyrexian. I mean, I think I will say their return to Phyrexian mana in our return to Phyrexia last year, they did that pretty well. Like, the way they handled that, like, making it one mana symbol, nothing was free. I think that was also a fine way of handling it. But to fix cards like Mental Misstep, I think that's the direction you need to go. Do we want to change anything? This is kind of a grindy matchup. We don't have a way to deal with our opponent's graveyard. Maybe we just run it back. I could see the discards. Yeah, let's just run it back. We could try the discard spell if we want to. I wish I could fix Arena. The Frog deck, I'm telling you, I got to get in like a game and a half with the. This is a deck we're gonna play, and we'll still play it, be it on a video or on a stream. But I'm really hyped about this Frog Blink deck. Not very cheap on Arena, but relatively cheap in paper. But I only got in like a game and a half with this deck, and I'm kind of addicted to it. The synergies are just so cool. Just the like Dowerport Mage, bounce your thing, replay your thing, ramp with a Lookout, blink it with a Guardian Agurapur, draw with your Dowerport Mage, ramp again with the Clifftop Lookout. And the thing that really sold me, this is a deck that really sold me on Dream Dew and Trancer. This is a card. The fact that this can come down and be like pseudo removal or a card draw, and you can bounce it and blink and reset it, it's so good. So some of the numbers, I don't know, maybe you want more green shells, maybe twinning twins 1 instead of 2. Like, some of the numbers aren't 100%, but this deck I'm very excited for. It's just so much fun to play, and it's kind of exactly my... Ooh, do we keep a one-lander? One land, one keep? We are on the draw. One land, one keep. Yeah, Arena. Well, when we started streaming an hour ago, it was down. Oh, but we got Maha and a 2-drop into it. If we just hit lands, all right, we'll mulligan. We'll be. Oh god. Okay. Well. I mean, it's not a very fast matchup, so we hopefully are still okay. Yeah, that one lander was actually tempting. Well, land go. But sometimes the one land pays off. How are Moto prices shortly after release? Should I wait a bit before adopting the Weasel? So Moto prices, they are higher right upon release, although I don't know how you're getting your cards. If it's like, well, all right. Cruel Claws Heist. So opponent gets to give us a card, but then steal one of our cards that they can play in the future. Is that worth? So I spend a card. Yeah, I guess it works out in the end. I like Cruel Claws Heist and Constructed. I hadn't really thought about it for Limited, though. So opponent takes our Consumed by Greed. Well, play a Swamp. I kind of miss that one-lander. I kind of wish we just stuck with the one-lander. Any crime land and lizard shenanigans coming up? Ah, yes, I'm sure there'll be some lizard shenanigans. I think Krim actually played a lizard deck today on the YouTube. But yeah, there's a land combo deck I want to try with Iridescent Vine Lash. Yeah, good thing they didn't get our Maha. That would have been brutal. Brutal. Yes, I know. We've talked about one-landers before, but I still can't resist. Lizard plus Lookout deck. Wait, Lizard plus, like, the frog ramp Lookout dork? At the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, surveil 1. Alright, sure. Ugh, more swamps. Too many swamps. Well, go to combat. Hit you with this acid. It's actually going to be pretty good here, because we get to ping, which turns on the Thoughtstalker Warlock. Well, let's Warlock you. Do a little Thought Season. Wow, this looks familiar. Three tree city. That is ambitious. Wait, is there actually a world where that's worth playing in our opponent's deck? Pat Cleric. Squirrel Warlock Bard. So this is the return a creature to your hand thing. Do we just have to take the overprotect? Actually, no. We'll take the orator. That's fine. Take the orator. Pass the turn. We know our opponent does have our removal spell. Hey, what's up, Geninator? How are you? Do you prefer MTGA or MTGO? I've come around on Magic Arena. Although, honestly, what are they naming with this 3-tree city? Are we naming Bat Cleric? Or Bat, rather? I do not think our opponent has enough creatures of the same type to make mana with this. I think it's kind of a color. Maybe it's just the flex. It's just to show that you opened it, I think. It's just that sometimes if you open an expensive card on Moto, you got to just put it in your deck even if it's bad, just for the psychological damage, right? So your opponents know that you opened an expensive card and they didn't. Mind Drill Assailant off the top. All right, pay 3, surveil 1. Opponent gets in for 2. Hits us. We could really use a non-land Magic the Gathering card. That would be sweet. Or a swamp. All right. So many swamps. I kind of think the one-lander would have been better the way this played out. I think if we kept that one-lander, we would have won by now, chat. I blame you for shaming me out of keeping the one-lander. We're mono black Maha. We first picked Maha and ended up a mono black deck is what we're playing right now. As a Finnish person, when we saw Maha, it made us chuckle since Maha means stomach in Finnish. Oh, the puns you hear about a card when someone casts it. I did not know. I mean, I guess I don't know any Finnish, so that makes sense. But I didn't know that. Good to know. Wow, opponent's just going to surveil for 3 mana main phase. Unfortunately, we have just a million lands in hand. Opponent surveils to the top. Gonna go to combat. And get in. The funny thing is, by attacking for 2, they let us hit them for 3. And they're behind on life as it is. So I don't know if they're actually winning this race. Come on, deck. Non-land. Non-land. Ooh, okay. Okay, the Warlock's actually not the worst. We will take more of those. This card seems really good. Like, the Menace is good. The ETB is good. Get in, ping ya, drain ya. Yeah, we get to Wick Patrol, which is pretty good because it also means we get to probably take the protection spell from our opponent's hand here. Oh, they have a Wick Patrol. Actually, do we just leave them with the Overprotect? Huh. So if we take the Wick Patrol, then we Wick Patrol, they Overprotect whatever we target. We can take the Overprotect, they presumably left a land on the top of their deck. They Wick Patrol, kill our thing, then we Wick Patrol, kill their thing. So I guess we take the Overprotect? Let's take the Overprotect. I think that makes the most sense. Pass the turn. I saw you playing a flag deck in Arena, bug clip you posted on Twitter. Was that a constructed deck? And if there was, is there any way I could see the deck list? Yeah, I actually was just showing it off. Here's the link to the deck list. It still might need a little tuning around the edges. But yeah, this is a list where I'm starting at with it. It is a million rares, unfortunately. Ooh, Daggerfang do. All right, opponent's going to wait. Oh, they didn't leave a land on top. Interesting. Well, now we're even more vindicated, I think, for taking the protection spell. Because now we definitely should be able to Wick Patrol something. Opponent. Pass it. Oh my god, we've drawn so many silly lands. Well, Wick Patrol. Mill some cards. Ooh. Ooh. Out of here. We milled a 5, right? And 2 lands that we really did not want to draw. Alright, get rid of that Mind Drill Assassin. Or Assailant. Assailant. Assailant? Assailant. Go to combat. Get in, hit ya. The menace on these Sawstalker Warlocks has been so good. It's kind of like winning us the game, pretty much. Get in. Headcha. So, do I like Moto or Arena better? You do get to keep the cards you draft on Moto. I have a very high tolerance for Magic Online. I played Magic Online for so long. Assailant. 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 I have a very high tolerance for Magic Online just because I played it for so long now. But I've kind of come around to liking Arena. I think that Arena in general is better for content. Like, it's just faster. There's more going on the screen. So I think, like, if I'm going to make a YouTube video, it's all else equal. Like, I could play the standard deck in standard or on a Arena. What? Opponent also has Maha? Okay. Sure. You know what would really be good? That card that they stole from us a million turns ago. A cultivator. All right, so if we go to combat, how do we do this? Oh, I should have played this pre-combat. Oops. How do we attack here? So if we attack with this, they can trade with this. If we attack with everything, this blocks here, this blocks here. Do we just not attack? But if we don't attack, they're going to draw a land eventually. And then, how did they end up with a Maha too? How is any of this possible? Their cards are so incredibly similar to our cards. It is kind of wild, actually. I don't know what we do here. What do we do here? I feel like if we attack all, it's very bad for us, right? If we attack all, our opponent can... They take 1 here for sure to go to 6. They can block here and here. And block here. Keep the Maha. We know they have a removal spell left over. Maybe we actually do attack all. Ooh, did Arena come back? Oh, hopefully Arena keeps working. Is this the right attack, or is it the right attack to do nothing? The thing is, we know they can make us sack our highest power creature. We know it, because they stole it from us. Man, I wish we hadn't drawn so many lands. That would have made this so much easier. Yeah, I don't trust. You know what? We're going to do it. Boom. Here we come. We came here to swing with a bunch of black creatures, and swing we will. All right, what are the odds that they also have Maha? It's got to be so low. Pound it. Blocks. Blocks. This isn't that great for our opponent though, is it? The menace on these Thoughtstalker Warlocks has been so good. All right, that works. So opponent drops to 3. We kill everything but the Maha. We play a Corpseberry Cultivator, which we should have played pre-combat, but that's okay. That's okay. And play a Swamp. Go. Someone just said it came up and then went back down again. I don't know. I haven't tried it in the last hour because we've been playing some limited on Moto. It is best of 3. They occasionally do some special events on Moto that are best of 1, but in general it's all best of 3 for limited, which is actually kind of, I don't know. I actually like best of 1 limited, honestly. Yeah, just release day things. normal release day. I mean, Intimidate, I think, is better than Menace, although I can see why they got rid of it. I don't know, punishing decks for just playing a color. Well, we do know they have a removal spell because they exiled it from our hand with their Cruel Claw size. So we do know they have Consumed by Greed. So they can Consume by Greed to kill this. Oh, they're going all the way. Okay, so we get to draw a card. It is another land? 7, 8, 9, 11 lands. All right. Well, they're dead, right? They're dead. They're dead, right? I think this means dead. Can we draw a removal spell? Just yes, yes, yes. Wick Patrol. Mahas, will you? Mahas, will you? Out of here. Land discarded. Maha down. Opponent. Cannot stop the Warlock, and that looks like game to me. Wow. The problem with Intimidate, right, is it punishes you for just being a color. And I don't know if cards that punish you just for playing a color are, like, I don't have anything against them personally, but I can understand why they don't do that or have shied away from that. I don't know if you want to punish people just because they, like, their deck happened to be a certain color. Yeah, land's great. Kind of, it's like Tomer's Hedron Archive philosophy, where it's the worst card ever, unless he's playing Kozilek, and then it's great for discarding to Kozilek. It looks like Arena's back, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're probably going to finish our draft at least. We'll finish our draft, and we'll see if Arena's back when the draft's done. Maybe we jump over and play a few constructed games on Arena. But I think we gotta finish our draft at this point. Ooh. One land, one keep. We're on the draw. Does it matter, chat? We're on the draw. We're on the draw, right? So it's okay now to keep a one-lander? We have a 1-drop and a 2-drop. Last game, we mulliganed and drew all lands. Can I have your permission, chat, just this once? Just this once to keep the one-lander? It's going to work out. You know it's going to work out. Cards that punish you for playing a color are bad. Every 2 years, Mono Blue Devotion, Mono Black Shieldred. But you still won. We did still win. Permission granted. All right, someone said permission granted. It's going to work, Jen. I promise you. We're good. We're good. You just wait and see. This is the one-land nut draw. We get to play a Ravine Raider, and then we draw a land and play this Assassin into our Thoughtseize Warlock that's apparently busted. We're going to draw a Swamp in the first 2 turns anyway. You know we're going to. Oh, Swamp. Okay. 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 Never punished. Get down the Raider. I know. Oh, did they get the Nutty Otter deck? Opponent. Little Frog Looting. Sure. Is this card good? I saw people playing this in Constructed on Early Access Day. Is Bellowing Crier actually that level of card? 2 mana, 2. It's just like, oh, what was the flash? Wasn't there a flashback one? What was the artifact one? I think it's still in Standard that you can unearth. We've played it in Reanimator decks before. I can't think of the name of it. It's just like a worse in blue version of that, right? Yeah, it's worse than the red Reanimation dog. All right, opponent. Also, Menace. I've really come around on Menace. Menace seems great. All right, I will change the title of the stream. I'll change the title on the stream since Arena seems to be back up now. All right, land. It's gonna be swamp number 3. Yeah, bring it. See, that's why you keep the one-landers. They just are. It's guaranteed to work out 100% of the time. It works every time. Oh, well, we'll play it. This hand's, I mean, now that we hit 2 lands, this hand's kind of great. This hand's kind of great now that we hit those 2 lands. Opponent, Kin Spark Duo. 1 damage to opponent. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you can untap it, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that actually has a power? That's awkward. That is awkward. So we want to get in damage. If we attack, they can trade that with that. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just attack. Actually, I think we just attack with both. Attack with both. Yeah, let's attack with both. Ping, yeah. It is kind of like an expensive Thermo Alchemist. Thermo Alchemist, one more mana, but you get a power. All right, we'll kill the frog. And we drew another land, too. Well, Thoughtseize you. So, Flash Protection Bird. Target creature gets trample. +1/+0, draw a card. Aether Beastbinder. I guess we just take the Beastbinder? Take the Beastbinder. Pass the turn. Where's our Maha? Where's our Maha? What is this deck? We're just doing a draft right now because Arena was down. So we decided to do a Bloomburrow Draft. So we drafted a mono black Maha deck. Maha was our first pick. About it. Passing. Okay, we can chill on the lands now, deck. We can chill. We can chill on the lands. Do we have to stop attacking now? They can flash in that bird. I mean, I guess it's fine. If they flash in the bird and block, I guess that's fine. Get in at ya. All right, there's the escort. Yeah, we might switch over after we finish the draft and see if we can get in at least a couple games of Constructed. Pound it. Bird. Oh, wait. Okay, gives hexproof until end of turn. Sure. Blocks. Oh. All right, we'll kill the bird. Hit you for 2. And then I guess just play the 4 or 5. Offspring of 3 is so much. We're never gonna get to 7 mana. Opponent. Would you like to take 3? Why does Consumed by Greed have cute animal artwork and not just a picture of an MTG player? I know it shouldn't. It should just be the Hasbro logo. That should be Chris Cox. Should be Chris Cox. That should be, you know, some random Hasbro employees. Ooh, early winter. Well, go to combat. Actually, I don't think we go to combat. I think we just exile one of these. Like, how about you? Maybe this deck's good. We're kind of just like crushing people. How's the draft going? Hey, what's up, Penosaurus Rex? So far, so good. We won our first round and feeling like we're pretty far ahead this game. First game around 2. Plus, we got a Maha that we've never even opened. We never even drawn yet. But how's life, Penosaurus Rex? Wow, opponent scoops it up. Opponent scoops it up. Oh my God. So yesterday night. So I live not that far from Lake Ontario. So I decided, you know, I'm gonna take Bear up to the lake. Bear likes the water. We'll go up to the lake. He can, you know, do some swimming or whatever. He's gonna have a blast. So we go up to the lake, and there's some people like having a party or whatever, a picnic or something down a ways. But I live in the middle of nowhere, so there's not a ton of people around. But there was like one group of people doing like a picnic a little ways down from us. And Bear, like, he was a little, I don't know. He didn't really want to swim at first. He was just kind of wading around. I don't know. I didn't think he was going to do it. He didn't really like the waves or whatever. And then he just I don't know what he got in his head. Suddenly, it just like the light bulb went on, and he went swimming, and he was just swimming right towards the people having a picnic. And Bear is like the biggest teddy bear in the world, but he's also a really big dog. So if you don't know him, people are just like freaked out by him sometimes. So I felt like I had to catch him because they were gonna be scared. So I had to like dive into the lake and grab him because I thought he was gonna swim. Oh my goodness! And I was all wet. Oh, Bear, what an adventure! Right now we're playing some limited right now. I think we just run it back. The moral of the story: never take your dogs to the lake. Apparently. Yeah, I'm not really sure what our opponent's trying to do. I mean, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to do otter stuff, but I'm not sure that otter stuff, like, what are the spells they're casting? It seems very slow and clunky. I don't know. How do otters work in limited? Did anyone play otters at their pre-release? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's my favorite color of the alphabet? Hey, what's up, Mega Magic Carp? How are you? Ooh, we finally drew a Maha. We finally drew the Maha. Yeah, I wonder if otters are just a whiff period. I wonder if they'll make Inconstructed. I bet they'll be good in... He was like whining. He wanted, the whole time we were there, he's not a whiny dog, but the one time he whines is when he wants to go like play with someone or go see people. And he was just sitting there doing his little whine thing, but he's just too... I try to explain to him, he's just so big. He's so big that it intimidates people. Are we just running this out bad mode? Maybe, I guess. We could surveil and draw. Yeah, all right. We finally have found our Warlock to not be fully powered. First time we have not gotten a Thought Seize out of it. Although I guess it's still fine, right? It's still a Menacer. Still a Menacer, still makes our opponent discard. Not nearly as good if you don't get rid of the... Ooh, all right, ping, and... All right, let's see it. Storm off, opponent. Storm off. Well, okay, Blooming Blast, sure. Untap it, yeah. Look at that. Look at him go. Whoa, and a Hired Claw. Okay, okay. Opponent's popping off, and they get in for 1. And we draw Swamp. All right, well, I mean, I guess we have to consume by greed here. This time I don't know if we give our opponent a card. Opponent Island goes to combat. I imagine they're going to pay for this Hired Claw, but we'll see. You got to do it, right? You got to pay for the Hired Claw. Once I pay for the Hired Claw, then we can consume by greed it. All right, there's the activation. Yeah, let's not bother to gift it. Let's just make him sack. That's fine. Consume my greed. Get rid of the Hired Claw. I'm bitter. Monty Python cards get away from me, and I refuse to use counterfeit. And Sculptors are going to be brutal with the drops. No laden swallows for me. I am right there with you. Hey, morning, Hoy Atelli. How are you? I'm right there with you, Mega Magic Carp. That's the same thing that happened to me. I was doing stuff, working on video stuff, or what was yesterday? Yesterday was Monday. We were doing some podcast into Commander Clash. So we do the podcast at noon, and then we record a Commander Clash at like 1:30. So I was doing that all afternoon. I thought they would sell out, but I didn't realize they were going to sell out that quickly. And by the time I looked, they're already gone. Apparently they sold out in a couple of hours. I guess in some ways I think I'm the lucky one, because I didn't end up sitting there. I heard people saying they sat there for an hour with it looking like... they had the cards in their cart and we're going to be able to get them, only for at the very end not actually be able to get it. So maybe I was lucky that I didn't even sit in line and wait around for it. Well, opponent, a little yoinking of the Maha, but we get to play a land. We can Wick Patrol. It's actually kind of interesting. I mean, do we just kill the Recruiter, I guess? I guess we kill the recruiter. If we somehow die to this thing pinging us to death, I'm going to be a little sad. 6, yeah. With the we do have a pretty fast clock, though, now. We do have a pretty fast clock. Hit you to 14. Opponent, taps. With the Kinder Spark Duo. How many spells do you got, opponent? Oh, taps it. Yeah, pings us. And Blacksmith's Talent to untap it. Create a colorless artifact named Sword. How scary is this? Beat me, come on your turn, equip it. During your turn, equipped creatures have double strike and haste. All right, levels it up. So you can equip it for free. Still doesn't get through the Wick Patrol, though. Opponent, are we sorting up the duo? Yes. Are we attacking with the duo? Probably not. Opponent passes. All right, how about... We do have to not die to this. We do have to not die to this. Action? It's a swamp. Oh. Wait, so how does this work? So they'd have to pay 4 more mana, and if they do, equipped creatures have double strike and haste. So this would get double strike. How greedy is... It's pretty greedy. But we could hit a removal spell. Yeah, somehow we went from 1 land, 1 keep to drawing all the lands. Found a foil Covetous Dragon in a bulk collection I bought. What would be the coolest commander to play him with? So, Covetous Dragon, you need to be an artifact deck, right? I want to say, like, let me read Covetous Dragon again. Yeah, when you control no artifacts, sack it. I can't think of an artifact dragon deck. I mean, there's a bunch of red artifact decks. Yeah, Duretti, Brea, anything like that would be fine. The question is, how much can we attack with here? Play the land. Go to combat. Hit ya. Oh, we're gonna win with both. We're gonna win with both. We're closing out this game. There's no fear. The game's gonna end. Opponent pings us to 6. Opponent takes their beats down to 3. We play Ravine Raider. We pass the turn. Just don't die. Just don't die. And Maha carries. Opponent untabs. Can you get through our Ravine Rider? Hold. I mean, even if they kill it, they probably can't kill us. So, like, ping removal spell. So we go to 5. Then they can attack for 2. They shouldn't be able to level up. Hopefully we're good about it. What is the first commander you're building from the new set? I can't believe so many people like Flubs. Apparently Flubs is very very popular. If you look on EDH Rec, so the data's a little weird. Like, I don't think Bria's actually one of the most popular commanders. I think it was because it was spoiled really early, and it's one of the, like, starter deck legends. So I think that's, like, part of it. So, like, Cruel Claw Balin, that makes sense. Yagra's pretty sweet. I already built a Yagra deck. Wick kind of surprises me, but I guess Wick is kind of a unique play style. And then if you go down to the commanders, Flubs number 1. Flubs is such a... an opponent scoops it up. Building infamous Cruel Claws and Eldrazi commander. Well, we might go through this without dropping a game. We might not drop a game. And then we can do a little construct. And a reminder, again, that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can come over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. So how do they fix the secret lair thing? The answer is just, like, go back to how they did it before, right? Just print to demand. Let me ask you, how many of you actually buy secret layers kind of regularly? I'm curious. So if you buy secret layers fairly regularly, have you noticed shipping being a lot faster under the new system, because I think that's how they like sold. That's how they sold it, right? That was like the upside for players, was it was going to be faster shipping. So the shipping is faster, so that part did work. So the issue now is just it sells out too quickly when they're popular. I wonder how much of it do you think is Magic players buying it, and how much of it do you think is bots and scalpers buying it? Like, do you think is that a big part of it? Is just like, here's a bunch of bots that are buying it and putting it on eBay or whatever? Because if it's just a bunch of Magic players that got there faster than me, then, like, yeah, hopefully they print more so more people can get them. And that would benefit WotC too, because I get to sell more of them. But if most of them are just going to people who are just trying to buy them to make a profit and, like, are going to inflate the price, that makes it a lot less appealing. 95%, 100%. Oh, that's so. I mean, I guess that's how all this stuff works online, but still, it's kind of disappointing. Well, I mean, we're gonna try this. I could have the counter, but Thoughtstalker Warlock, let us thought seize you, friend. Are they actually playing the counter? All right, Long River's opponent wants to be mono blue control over there. Mono blue control, bonnet. Combat, trying to find their lands. Gets in, hits us, loots. After missing their land drop, they discard a land and pass the turn. Well, we find a swamp. We go to combat. We get in. We hit you. Gain back some life. And I think we just dread sight here. We're at 20. Let's just set up for the future. Opponent. They can't be playing that many counters in draft. Really? Put target creature on the top or bottom of its owner's library. Let's just go bottom. So opponent, I think, is actually trying to be mono blue control. I guess we keep one land, put one to the graveyard, draw 2 lands anyway. Well, we're going to get to our Wick Patrols. That's good news. Wizards buy the product and put it on eBay. Oh, God. Oh, man. That actually could... We're 2-0 so far. We're in the last round of our draft. Haven't dropped a game yet, actually. I mean, I could see WotC doing that. That doesn't seem impossible. I mean, I guess it's probably very unlikely, but that kind of seems like something they would consider doing. Plume Creed Escort. Well, okay, let's... Opponent really is mono blue control, essentially. All right, opponent down to 1 card. Opponent's mono... They're trying to play mono blue control in draft. All right, we'll see if it works. Opponent. All the looting is helping him, that's for sure. Opponent untaps, down to 2 cards in hand, but they get to keep looting. I mean, we got our Wick Patrols coming. They are coming. Will we resolve anything? Wait, is mono blue like this actually an archetype you can build? That's annoying. Opponent. Tapping all their mana. Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards. All right, sure. Opponent draws some cards. They are playing every counter in existence. Hits us to 14, plays an island. Well, the bad news for opponent is there's no 1-mana counter to Wick Patrol, so we're going to play a Wick Patrol. We're going to mill some cards. We're going to kill this silly looter that will never go away. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Milled some removal that we kind of wanted. Plays a land. Maybe that's it. Maybe someone Maybe someone saw Sam draft it. Bone it. Gets in with a dork. Hits us. Well, we untap. Play the land. Go to combat. Smack you with the Wick Patrol. Opponent takes the beats. Well, we'll play another Wick Patrol. Get rid of the flyer. Mill 3 lands. Okay, we definitely did not want to draw those. Play the Ravine Raider. Pass the turn. We might still be winning this. We might still be getting there. Hey, Seth. I'm part of the way through today's podcast. Did nobody consider that Mana Confluence and City of Brass in the Smeagol deck was to activate the ability of utility lands that require pips in one of the other 3 colors? Ooh. Ooh, that's actually kind of bad for us. They get to stun our 2 big blockers? Is that going to make us die? That might actually be enough. Oh no, are we going to lose to mono blue, mono counters? Opponent goes attacking, hits us. Down to 9. Well, that's not the worst. So this is a 3/3? So let's savor this thing. Play an Orator. And pass the turn. Gonna be close. Gonna be close. Opponent untaps. I did not consider that. I wonder if that's worth it. That makes some amount of sense. Like, I can see the logic of it. So your Smeagol's going to steal your opponent's lands. Those lands could have off-color activated abilities. That would let you activate them. What lands would that apply to, though? Like, what? I'm trying to think of what lands that would actually... What commonly played lands would I actually have that come up with? So I guess Kessig Wolf Run, you'd have to... Well, I guess you just need red because you're already in green. All right. You could hit like a hideaway land. Castle Lock. Okay, I mean... Oh my jeez. Wow, okay. Well, found it. Yeah, I think that's going to lead to our opponent winning, unfortunately. That is awkward. Opponent. Season of the Burrow. To copy their dorks twice and draw a card. Taps our stuff down. We need 1 point of... Oh, we need more than 1 point of damage. Alright, opponent taps our stuff. Goes attacking, hits us. Down to 7. We get to untap some things. We draw a Dagger Fling duo. Well, we'll play the duo. We will not mill any cards. Can we even attack? So we attack with this. Block there, 3. We die to, like, anything. I mean, they're probably going to kill us anyway. Well, we know our opponent's got some mythic bombs. Yeah, I think we just die no matter what. Opponent going to block. Trade off with a Wick Patrol. Yeah, mono blue actually looks reasonable. Definitely obnoxious to play against. Just like in any other format. Opponent. A lurker. To make a frog unblockable until end of turn. Sure. About it. I mean, maybe it was also a weird draw where opponent just happened to draw all of their counters early. So we trade off. We drop to 4. They can pick up their frog if they want to. Wait, what? Huh? Oh, they blink the frog. Okay. To tap down our stuff again. The fun never ends. Good lord, this mono blue deck. About it. Thinking. Pump faking. Am I not supposed to play upwards of 40 lands in a deck that's all about playing dragons? What about ramping? I mean, and that draws you a card. That card actually seems pretty good. And a Thundertap Trainer. I mean, our opponent's definitely got a lot of Calamitous Tide. Jeez. All right, yeah, sure. All right, we got to bring in some discard. Wait, you play 35 lands in her dragon? Whew. I would play at least 40 lands. I am not comfortable. Or it wouldn't have to be necessarily 40. I would be looking at like 38 plus. I think 38 is kind of like the minimum for me. And then 38 is kind of the minimum. And 40 or even more than 40, not unrealistic in a deck with a bunch of MDFCs. Oh, where's your Viper deck, Aereo? Probably late for a question. Anyone else having issues with Arena? So I've heard people say it's better. Oh, no. All right, we'll try this. We really need to resolve this Dire Sight. 2-drop into Dire Sight. I guess that's not the worst, but it's definitely not great. Yeah, I think you were down to 32 lands, really. So I guess my question is, where are you playing your deck? Are you playing like, so if you're playing at home casually with a play group that lets you take kind of like super easy mulligans, then it might be fine in that context. Like if you're just playing with friends and it's kind of like, make sure you have a functional hand. We want to have a fun game. Then I think you might be able to get away with playing that low of a number. If I was playing with like two more lands. If I was playing with like a random play group of people and I felt like I had to go by like the official mulligan rule, then I would definitely be looking at going at least 38. I think would be about the minimum. Arena's back, but the store's down. We'll try it after this draft. We'll see. If Arena works, we'll do a little frogging. That was the original plan, to do some frog blinking. Well, let's play the Daggerfang duo. Oh, about it. Alright. Counterspell. I wonder if this is a real archetype. Traditionally in Limited, like the common knowledge is that just playing a bunch of counters is not usually an effective strategy, but it might be in this format. Our joke is that you can mulligan until you get a fair hand, but you can't keep Soul Ring outside of official mulligans. That's a pretty good rule. I like the no Soul Rings if you're gonna aggressively mulligan plan. Let me see, Aereo. Opponent passes. Oh, there's a Wick Patrol. We know they have Shore Up in their deck. Let's just play Daggerfang duo. No reason to mill. Pass the turn. Viper Aristocrats. Ooh. Alright. So Viper to sack Crawly Courses, Bond Wardens. The synergies look sweet. Is there, you know what I would look for? I would probably look at playing Bart, maybe. I think having a backup sack outlet is probably worth it. I'd be a little nervous about only having a single one. Well, attack and do we attack with this so we can? Well, we're probably gonna Wick Patrol. Let's just attack with the Daggerfang. See what our opponent does. Dire Down Draft. Put a creature on the top or bottom of opponent's library. Sure. We'll put it on the bottom. Put it on the bottom. Man, they're going to have the frog counter. They're going to have Long River's pull, and then that's so bad for us. Oh, they're leaving up the mana. Well, we got to play it. Wix Patrol. I'm expecting Long River's pull here, though. But ooh, wait. Okay. Is this going to work? Are we actually going to kill a thing? Well, there goes our Maha. Well, yes. Out of here, please. Just die. Please. Oh, okay, we killed it. We actually killed it. Past the turn. Maha in the graveyard's not the worst, because we do have some ways to potentially get it back from the graveyard. I like the idea of it, though, Ario. I feel like I've seen a couple. I saw someone playing a Rottenmouth Viper deck. The couple of games I got in before Arena died today, I played against a Rottenmouth Viper deck, and it looked really cool. I'm not sure how good it is still, because it does die kind of a lot-ish. Well, go to combat. Do some attacking. Pang ya. Opponent. Gonna do a little blocking. And, alright, Wig Patrol to the top. I mean, this game's going better than the last one, I think. Let's play the Warlock. See what our opponent's got in hand. Hey, Cease. Come say hello to your friends. Hey, Cease. Oh, there you go. There you go. Say hi to everyone. Are we going to win, Cease? What do you think? Are we winning? What do you think? Yeah? Dazzling Denial, Calamitous. What does this do? Return up to 2 target creatures to the owner's hands. Draw 2 cards, discard a card. Dazzling Denial, counter target spell unless the controller plays 2. If you control a bird, counter it unless it pays 4. Alright, we'll take the Tide, play the land. Oh, Cease! Oh, careful, careful. Do the dog and cat play together? No. They tolerate each other. They tolerate each other. Yeah, Cease isn't much of a sit on your lap style of cat. Really? Wait, am I supposed to clip her nails? I don't think I've ever clipped her nails, and I've never noticed them being a problem, but maybe I was supposed to do that and didn't realize it. We'll play the land. Gotta combat. Keep attacking. Hit ya, hit ya. Opponent's gonna block. Well, we will pass the turn. If we get a chance, we will kill this thing. We know they can counter something. Land for our opponent. And passing. Well, it's early winter. So much mana to exile a creature, but it is an instant at least. Wait, what's happening? Moto. Uh-oh. There we go. Ooh. She does have pretty sharp claws. Opponent just let it go. I'm kind of surprised our opponent didn't try to interact with that. Get in, hit ya. I guess maybe they're more worried about the Wick Patrol that they know we have access to. Down to 10. Pass the turn. Does your cat use all your furniture for scratching pose? Oh, wait. Am I playing against Sam? Oh, so... I didn't realize I was playing against Sam. Someone said that Sam was drafting Mono Blue earlier. I didn't realize that this was Sam right now, though. All right, I think we need to get rid of that thing before they make a token copy. I guess it doesn't matter, right? So the last card's a counter. It's counter unless we pay 2, right? Counter unless you pay 2. So you're going to tap and tap. Yup. And then surveil. Okay, so pre-surveil. Consumed by greed with a gift. So you draw a card. We get back Maha. You sack your bigger creature. All right, Maha. All right, Maha. Hey, welcome, Nevalucifer. Good to see ya. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. Yeah, Cece's claws are pretty sharp, and she does like to scratch with them. Well, 3, 4, 5, Maha time, and a assassin, and pass the turn. Oh, can you beat the Maha? It's feathers or night. Please say no. If you can, then you're probably gonna beat us. Otterball Antics. Sure. Prowesser. And a little surveilling. Sure. Can we close this out? We know there's a counter. There's a counter and one unknown card. Opponent. Passes. Well, I mean, we are just swinging out here. Here comes the dorks. Swing with the crew. Drain ya. Drain ya. This could be lethal. An opponent scoops it up, and we're going to game 3. I didn't realize you're playing against Sam Black. Sam, honestly, Sam is one of my all-time favorite deck builders. So good. I remember, I think Sam has focused more on limited lately, but I remember him building a zombie bombardment, goblin bombardment zombie deck for Legacy, like a decade ago, and the deck was so cool. So yeah, I would say that the mono blue thing makes a lot of sense now, because Sam's a very good deck builder. So I don't know if Sam doing well with mono black necessarily means that, or with mono blue necessarily means that mono blue is something that everyone would have success with, or if it's Sam being very good at building decks. Yeah, Pro Tour Philadelphia. Wait, Sam was on the Infect deck, right? Mono blue Infect, the first ever modern Pro Tour. Yeah, I mean, I guess we run it back. We're going to be on the draw. Well, this is it. This is for the 3-0. This is for the 3-0. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't think we were in the same pod. The pod we were in, Black was incredibly open, and Otters. There was a lot of like otter mythics and so forth going, or not mythics, but rares going around. So is Arena actually working then? Is it worth, after we finish our draft, is Arena actually working enough that we can get in a couple of matches at least? Hopefully. Usually they're pretty good about getting it up and running. The SPL just triggered me. I absolutely got destroyed by Finkel drafting non-meta mono blue and draft a long time ago. Was fun to play against another legend. I mean, that's a pretty good story though, right? Like, how many people can say they got crushed by Finkel? That's a pretty sweet story. So I think in the long run, even if you ended up getting crushed, you probably end up winning. Well, I mean, we're on the draw. We're gonna try this. I feel like against this mono blue deck, being able to get on the board early is actually pretty nice. Well, get on the Raider. Yo. Where does Sam stream? If anyone has a link to Sam stream, I think someone from Sam stream was just over here. If anyone has a link to Sam stream, feel free to put it in the chat. Samuel H. Black. Oh, this thing. This was the thing that got us in game 1. That's kind of concerning. Well, play the swamp. Yeah, the looting of that I feel like is pretty important to making a mono blue work. Get an at you. Down to 19. And assassin. I will say this assassin has been I mean, don't tell me don't tell me anything about what's going on Sam's battlefield, obviously. But I mean, it's kind of fun to see both sides of a match. If I'm not streaming and I'm just watching two people and I know they're streaming, I like to turn on both just to hear what the different commentary is, see what the people's hands are. I think it's actually cool to be able to do that. I will say this lizard has been a lot better than I thought. I wasn't sure if this was going to be good enough. I thought this would be like a good lizard card, maybe a good bat card, but it actually seems fine just as like a generic 2-drop. Like, it's been good enough. Ooh, they had to discard the Long River Lurker. Well, go to combat. Do some attacking. Bang ya. Hit ya. So we're probably going to get countered. Let's try to double spell here. Let's play another assassin. So here comes the counter. Yep. And another raider. Pass the turn. Opponent. Gonna get in. I think Shoreline Looter is really good. It's basically Looter Elcor. Like, very close to Looter Elcor, except kind of way cuter, which is probably the biggest theme of Bloomburrow, I guess. Well, go to combat. Do some attacking. Missing a land drop here is not great. Opponent blocks. Oh, I feel like there's another counter. There's probably another counter. Let's play the Daggerfang duo. Is there another counter? We want to resolve this Warlock, but would rather it not get countered. All right, there's the Dazzling Denial. So hopefully this means next turn we can get down the Warlock if nothing goes horribly wrong, but it adapts. I love that Seth is just chatting away and Sam is pensively considering plays in silence. Oh, different styles, for sure. But it gets in, loads. Down to 19, all the way down to 19. We're below our starting life total. Mono Blue's doing it. Mono Blue aggro has arrived. Oh, this thing's so annoying because it's letting them loot away extra lands, which is letting them draw all the counters, which is making life miserable. Although we are like winning the race at the moment. Oh, here's this thing. At least I can't offspring it. That's something. Yup, taps down the pinger. We untap. We draw Swamp. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? So, so we play the land. We can get down the Thoughtseize finally. It is going to cost us a 1-drop, but I guess that's fine. Yeah, let's go attacking. I guess we can also threaten the pump, which maybe scares no block since they're going to take damage anyway. All right. Yeah, not scary enough. Ooh. Maybe we should kill this. This thing is going to start drawing cards and growing. Oh, all right. I don't want to do this, but yeah, I mean, I think getting rid of this thing is a big enough long game threat that I think we actually have to kill it. Just pay to get a counter draw card every turn. They're up to 6 cards in the graveyard now. That was going to turn out very soon. It'd probably just beat us. Once a turn, right? Oh, wait. Only once, period? Wait. Is that a thing we do now? Hang on. When did... Only once. I mean, I guess once a turn we've seen a lot of times before. Are there other cards that are only once period? I'm actually curious now. I feel like that's a new thing. Well, it's back anyway. Yeah, probably wouldn't have spent my mana pumping if I had thought that through more. Consumed by greed. That'd be a nice one to resolve someday. Now I actually got to look at this because I'm curious. Release date. Once each turn. So there's lots of once each turn. This is just only once. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of a good comparison. So adapt is only, well, adapt is not technically only once, right? But you like have a, you put a counter on it, and you can only activate it if it doesn't have the counter, I believe. Interesting. I mean, I guess it kind of works like that because you're putting the counter on it. I think you really got to have like some sort of marker on it, or else it would get pretty confusing. Huh. Yeah, I just assumed it was once each turn. That makes that card a lot less scary than I realized. I am not sure what we do here, honestly. I'm not sure. This looter is the bane of our existence. That's for sure. We're missing land drops, which I guess is sort of ish okay. This is an instant. Although we have nothing great to get back. It would kill this thing, though. Would like to Thought Seize, but we can't really Thought Seize without losing our stuff. We'd have to chump attack to get the Thought Seize if it resolves. Yeah, there are some synergies for flickering, like the Splash Lasher in the deck. We got by that in game 1. Yeah, I mean, this game's not going to take too long. I don't think. All right, let's just Dire Sight. Graveyard and I guess top and a land. Okay, we do hit the land. That's good. I'll play the Orator. Not gonna attack this turn. All right. So there's the one use of the Thought Smucker. Only once. Only once. Who made this card? Marrow. Marrow. We need to have a talk, Marrow. I would just attack with the 1/2. So you would get in with the assassin to turn on the warlock. It hurts that it's a chump attack. Although we would love to resolve this Thought Seize to see if we can actually resolve anything else. Potent of Calamity X2 for a land and a dire downdraft. Alright, so opponent gets both of them. We untap. We draw a swamp. We play the swamp. I mean, we need this Thought Seize. I think we're just going to swing out here. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just swing with the Lizard. Get in with the Lizard. So we get in with the Lizard, hit our opponent to turn on the Thoughtstalker Warlock. Now we can attempt to Thought Seize. Opponent gets to kill it. And then we still have Consumed by Greed up. Yeah, gonna double block, so we can't get rid of it with Consumed by Greed. Sure, that works. That is successful. Well, 1, 2, 3. Warlock you. Oh, boy. I I think I've only played against Sam once before. I don't know, maybe I've played against him without realizing it. But the one time I remember playing against Sam was on Team Modern Super League, and I was playing this blue white miracle deck right after Jace was unbanned, like the week after Jace and Mayan Sculptor was unbanned. So I built this blue white miracle deck with 4 Jaces, and that was back during the Lantern Control era. And Lantern Control was like Sam's deck. Sam was like one of the innovators of Lantern Control, and played it for like a year or two. So Sam was on Lantern and ended up somehow winning in this super long match. But that was a very memorable Super League. I think it's still on YouTube, maybe. At least it was not that long ago. So the counter spell we can kind of play around. The removal spell, I guess we just deal with it. Actually, if we take this, it turns on the removal. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to take the counter. We're actually going to take the counter. I think that makes the most sense. So now we can consume by greed to get rid of the 3/3. The question is, do we give a gift to get back an assassin? Probably not. So let's get rid of the 3/3 with consume by greed. All right, opponent untaps and draws. They're definitely ahead of us in cards. Plays the Lily Pad Village. Goes to Gobback. Gets in with the Looter. The unbeatable Looter. Did Sam get Limited Player of the Year on the PT? Renowned for drafting skills. I actually don't remember. It's possible. I honestly couldn't tell you anyone who won Limited Player of the Year on the Pro Tour. That's just not something I like keep track of too much. Well, we're gonna swing with everything. Swing with everything. Opponent's gonna block. Pump. Pump. I think they're going to use the removal spell, I'm pretty sure. Yep. I think we put it back on top. So get in for 2. Play the land pass the turn. This hexproof bird is still kind of an issue. Opponent gets in, hits us, loots, hits us with both. I mean, we're not going to be able to do anything else, so I think we might as well pump there, because we don't have anything else we can do. Otterball antics, because we know the hexproof bird is in hand, and the counter is in hand, or the hexproof bird's in hand. So if we play the Wick Patrol, it's just going to get countered by the escort. So I don't think we have really another option other than to just pump a bunch. Now I think we have to play... Well, first we can attack. Get in, hit you to 7. And then we got to play the Wick Patrol. We got to do it. Run it out. Not going to work the way we want to, but mill some cards. I would love to kill this Looter. I feel like the turn 2 Looter is going to be the reason that we end up losing this game. Hey, what's up, Milano? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, we got to go for it. Show us the bird. So there's the bird. Yep. Saves the Looter. I think the Looter is... I think that's the key to Sam's deck working. I think if you have this on turn 2 and it sticks all game, so you just get to filter every turn, I think that can be pretty good. But the game when they didn't have the looter, it was way worse. We're doing a draft right now because Arena's down. Although we are going to try to jump over and at least sneak in a couple of games on Arena after the draft. Bounty gets in, hits us. Yeah, I don't know if we can pull this out. This looter, it never ends. It never ends. The never-ending value. Pitching Otterball antics. We untap. Daggerfang duo. Well, we will go to combat. We will do some attacking. How will it go wrong this time? Here comes the big attack. 4 cards in the opponent's hand, including, oh my god, a Valley Floodcaller. That's not good. That gets to untap everything. Oh yeah, that's actually, we have not seen that all. We hadn't seen that all match. We hadn't seen that all match. Oh man. Oh, kind of tough to play around. The rare that you haven't seen at the very end of game 3 of a match. Yeah, that is the blowout of blowouts. Another one of these downdraft things. Gonna bounce our stuff. It untaps and pumps. We'll put it to the bottom. Doesn't really matter. And yeah, I'm pretty confident that is going to be the game now. Wow. The full art swamps do look really good. The full art islands, I mean, they're all right. They're all right. I think I like the swamps better. It's the Journey of Lemmy Wings. Hey, Seth, are there any horror films that you want to see represented in Duskmorn? Ooh. Double block. Yeah, we can't do anything about that. So I think we're dead. Valley Floodcaller, eh? So we can orate or get back something, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just play the Daggerfang duo. And no real reason to mill. Pass the turd. The looter! I'm curious what horror movies are going to be eligible for the set. Like, so I get the sense it's going to be like 80s stuff. Like, I don't know. So I don't really like a lot of the 80s horror movies. I never really got into, like Halloween or like, Freddy and Jason, like those ones. I never really got into those ones too much. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought we already saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but GG. GG. Mono blue for the win. That silly looter ruining our perfect 3-0. I thought, so someone else said it wasn't, so Chainsaw. I think Chainsaw is like, especially the showcase. To me, I thought it was very much Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It even looks like the over-the-head pose. But then someone else said it was, I don't know, Ash or something, which is a horror movie I've never seen, actually. I'm going to stick with it being a Texas Chainsaw Massacre reference, because that's what I see. That's what I see. I think it looks like Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's gotta be, right? Because, like, the most iconic part of the whole thing is the, like, swinging around the head, like, the dance. Like, that's the probably, to me, that's what I think of when I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre. All right, we'll go with Leatherface. So I'm excited for that one. Like, more of those references would be sweet. It's kind of like, let's see if we can fire up Arena and see if Arena's working. If we can, we'll do a little frogging. It's got to be like a tough line to walk. Because could you imagine, like, I don't know, what would you do with like Saw or something? How would you put a reference to, like, some horror movies seem like it would actually be very difficult. Avert your eyes. Some horror movies, it seems like it'd be difficult to get references into a PG-13 style game. All right, we're gonna try the frog deck. Like I said, I really like the idea of this deck, but I haven't got to play many games with it yet. But I wanna try it. So this is the Bant frog blink deck. The scariest horror movie is the desktop. Let me change the stream title. I know. The desktop, it goes in stages. It becomes clean for a while and then it gets messy again, and it just keeps going. All right. Let's do some frogging. Let's do some frogging. Yeah, this is fine. We get a bunch of redraws. Bunch of lands, but we get a bunch of redraws, so it should be good. Yes, the deck list link should work now. And I think... Oh, mono red? Alright, avert your eyes one more second. Just in case. Let me make sure the untapped companion's up, because I think you should be able to just, like, hover on it or whatever. I'm pretty sure. Mono red... Well, let's play the Surveil land. Keep the Novice Inspector. Pass the turn. We're hopping to it. About it. Land. Ed hits us with the Heartfire Hero. And... Oh god, Slick Shot? Well, that's a little frightening. Let's pawn profit. That Slick Shot might be a problem. About it taps. Oh, let's see. Boom. Arena. Wait, where's the chat? No, there's no chat at all. Type something in chat real quick. There should be chat now. Hello. Hey, there we go. How many lands should I put in a draft deck? So the standard for a draft deck is 17 is the most common number. Well, we might just be dying here. Mono red doing mono red things. Good old mono red. We just want to dirtle around with frogs, and you're playing your burn spells and Slick Shot show-offs. Boo, boo, boo to you, opponent. Boo to you. I'm sure there's a Monstrous Rage in hand about it. Twinferno. Okay. Well, there's not a Monstrous Rage in hand. Just a Twinferno. We drop to 5. We drop to 4. Can the Salvation Swan... Oh, all right. Sure. Janked out. A little janked out. Well, temporary lockdown's gonna come in. Cutzel's Flanker will come in. We'll go down some of the more expensive things in the deck, since our opponent being a slightly aggressive, I would say, over there. Just a little aggro. Mono red, I imagine, should be incredibly busted. It's gonna be very interesting to see. Like, Bloomburrow is such a aggro-focused set that it's gonna be interesting to see how standard actually shakes out in a world where there's just such I would say probably the standard. I mean, mono red not even coming back. Mono red's been like tier 1 for a long time, right? It's been like one of the best decks in standard. I expect it will continue to be one of the best decks in standard. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out, because I think this is one of the strongest one-drop standards ever. Maybe literally ever, especially when you consider we're in 3-year standard now, when most standards are 2 years. But I think the one-drops are just off the charts in power level. And our deck has Novice Inspector. See, we have a one-drop. We're in on the one-drop action. Hey, Sea Devil. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I don't think Gabacon's very good. Gabacon's just too slow against aggro. Gabacon's more of like a card for control, really. Controller, or maybe some mid-range decks. But it's just too slow against it. You can't really afford against a deck like Mono Red, to afford to take off a turn to play like a not even real Thoughtseize, like a slow you down a little bit Thoughtseize. Well, that's Fabled Passage. This hand, a little scary that it's so expensive, but the 1-drops are crazy powerful from the set. Otherwise, the set looks very weak. I don't know. I think the set, I think the set's very strong, but a lot of its power goes in specific decks. Cutzel's Flanker is kind of nice here. A lot of its power, I think, goes only in specific decks. So, like, there's cards that are very good if you're playing insert a creature type. Like, if you're a mouse deck, Manifold Mouse is a borderline absurd card. If you're not a mouse deck, it is a literal joke of a card. So I think there's quite a few cards that are kind of like that. Well, let's just Cliff Top. I don't think we're hopefully not gonna die this turn to a single 6-shot show off. Say that 3 times fast. A single slick shot show off. A single 6-shot show off. Single slick shot show off. Hey Zap. Tangential though. The Xbox 360 online store got shut down yesterday. I'm not ready for considering the Xbox 360 as retro. I'm barely okay with PS2 being retro. Imagine feeling old. Couldn't be me, Goldfish. Oh, yeah. I mean, that is kind of crazy that the Xbox 360 is a retro game now. All right, do it, opponent. Do it. Casso Spells. Dreadmaw's Ire. Get in that damage. All right, we drop to 11. Opponent passes. We draw a Parting Gust. Ooh. Wait, should we just be... Let's just... So we can Dream to Entrancer, I'm telling you. Sneaky hero this set. What commander personally has you most excited from this set? So the first commander deck I built from the set was Yagra. And Yaga's super cool. I don't know if it's the one I'm most excited for, but that is the first one I've built. I think Wick is intriguing. I like the snail idea. I'm also kind of like intrigued by Bellow, just because Gruul artifacts and enchantments is such a weird color combination. I think we just pass. We have enough instant speed stuff, but I think we just pass. I mean, outside of Dream Do, we can play your entire hand at instant speed. This might be like Parting Gust plus Cutzel's Flanker or something. Found it. Monastery Swift Spear. Gonna go to combat. Gonna go attacking. Well, let's... Cutzel's Flanker. Cutzel's Flanker. Do a little scry and gain a little life. Scry 2, gain 2. Bottom. And then block the Swift Spear. They gotta have a pump spell, right? They got to. The Frog Dying's fine. We just want our opponent to like pump spell the show off and then Parting Gust it. That's what we're... If they don't do anything, that's also pretty fine. But I'm pretty sure they gotta have a pump spell. Found it. Thinking. Counting. Twinferno. Well, yeah. Opponent, how would you like a tapped fish? We have a gift for you, friend. Our gift is a tapped fish and us not dying. Down to 9. Play the land. Play Dowerport Mage. Salvation Swan. Blink the Flanker. Draw a card with the Dowerport Mage. Okay, the synergies are adding up. Get another Clip Drop Lookout. Get it back. Scry and gain. We will keep the... Do we want either of those? We're going to get another land. 1, 2, 3. Actually, you know what? I think we'll keep the Pawn Prophet. That's fine. Keep the Pawn Prophet. Pass the turn. Now we have a Flying Cutzel's Flanker. I might have to get a new console to play GTA 6. I haven't played Grand Theft Auto in so long, but I have some fond memories of like forever ago playing GTA with friends. So I don't know. I am intrigued by the possibility of playing GTA for the first time in like forever. About it. Hopefully we're out of very scary pump spells. Opponent's deck's interesting. They're a very pump spelly mono red deck. Very pump spell heavy. Like when you're down to the twin, this is almost like the Gruul decks that we saw before rotation, but mono red version. Demonic Ruckus. Trample him up. Pump him, pump him. Opponent gonna go attacking, or not. I mean, we need this Slickshot show off to die. Attacks. Well, block here, and block here. Come on, just die. Oh, thank goodness. All right, the Slickshot's down. Opponent gets to draw a card, but we're still at 9. Slickshot is off the battlefield. Opponent plays a land. Well, we will play a... Actually, this is probably smarter. Let's Dream Do Entrancer. Tap down the Swift Spear. And pass the turn. Leave up Dowerport Mage. Come on, not another Slickshot show off. Please, a reprieve. What kind of video games do you... Ooh, Slinging Terror. Okay, I mean, we have an answer to that. We have a frog that will answer this by drawing his cards. Pick up the Dream Drew Entrancer, draw another card. Cutzel's Flanker. And a Brushland will play the Entrancer. Tap down the Terror. Don't want to deal with that. Clifftop Lookout. Do a little ramping. You can see the synergies. You can see the frog synergies adding up. Get it with the Dowerport Mage. Hit you to 19. Pass the turn. Opponent's board still tap down for another round. Opponent, Monastery Swift Spear off the top. Sure. And passes. Well, let's play a Pawn Prophet to draw a card. Wait till we add the Panharmonicon to the mix. Dowerport Mage. Go to combat. Hit you with the Entrancer. And now we pick up the Dream Do. We draw 2 cards. Cast it again. Tap down your thing. I love this deck. This is like exactly how I love playing Magic. Found it. Is that Slickshot? Oh, okay, that's okay. We do have the Parting Gust. Let's Dowerport Mage, pick up the Entrancer, draw a bunch of cards. Ooh, oof. Green Shell. That's a green shell. Okay. I don't know if we can play it yet, though. Actually, we can probably play it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This puts the land into play tapped. Yeah, it puts it into play tapped. We're gonna have to build a... The frogs are hopping to it. Hey Seth, I made a Yagra Confectioner deck for standard. Your idea helped a lot with initial builds, but I found the best card to win with on the spot in Stangle Gary in a Zoni. Ooh. Let me look up a Zoni. What is a Zoni? What is a Zoni doing? We gotta play our turn though, real quick. So let's Dream Do. Tap down a Swift Spear. And pass the turn. Opponent untaps. This is almost like a prison deck, sort of. So, Azoni, 6 mana, 5/4 menace. When it enters or attacks, collect evidence 4. If you do, create a couple of spider tokens with reach and menace, 2/1s, and then sacrifice 4 tokens. Surveil 2, draw 2, gain 2. Wait, how does that win with the Yagra loop, though? Oh, wait, because it's going to be a food. Interesting. I had not thought about playing Azoni, like, at all. Opponent. Passing? Oh! Okay. Well, in that case, I think we'll pick up this Dream Dew and Trancer. We got to keep this Terror tapped down. Draw a couple of cards with our Dower Port Mages. And flash in a Cutzel's Flanker. We might not kill you quick, but we draw a lot of cards. Cutzel's Flanker. Scry. And temporary lockdown. Do we even need that? Probably not now. We'll keep the Trancer though. Can never have too much tapping. So we can... Oh, we gotta wait one more turn. So let's play the Dream Dew Enchancer. Tap down the Terror. Play the Fabled Passage. Go to combat. Hit you with the Flanker. Get in a little damage. Opponent takes it to 13. Crack the Fabled Passage. And... pass the turn. Sack the tokens, they make rats. Oh, right. Because the rats are food. So, okay. If you have experimental confectioner, I see. So if you have the, but wait, how does it actually win you the game though? So you can draw your opponent. Tired of our value. Scoop while we took down mono red there. Wait, okay, so you have experimental confectioner, you got Yagra, you got a sack outlet. So your creatures are all food. When you sack a food, you get a rat. That rat will be a food. So you add a Zoni to the mix. So you play a Zoni, you can make a couple of spiders, which are also food. But wait, how does it win the game? I guess that's what I'm not. Is this the win the game card? This is like the scavenger's talent replacement or whatever. How does it actually make someone die? Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. So you go infinite, I gotcha. If you have the scavenger enchantment, yeah. Okay, that actually seems super cool. I had forgotten all about Azoni. I'm gonna have to try a copy or two in the Yagra deck when I work on it more, because that does seem really good. That seems like a really solid addition. It also seems like a nice backup plan where, like, maybe you don't find all the combo pieces. It's a 6-mana 5/4 that probably adds 2/1 menaces to the battlefield. So maybe this is just like you play it like a Grave Titan as a backup plan. Do we need to change anything else here? Wait, I'm still kind of... Am I still confused by this? So wait, I have Scavenger's Talent. I have Yagra. Does this actually work? I can see how it would work in a deck that has things in the graveyard. I think I'm still a little confused about exactly how it goes infinite, though. Because it doesn't do anything when anything dies, right? I guess it's like a sack outlet for tokens. The thing to keep in mind, though, is even though your creatures are food, they're not actually tokens. Yeah, send me a list. I'd love to look it over. Do I sip water on stream? Probably not nearly as much as I should. Oh, this temporary lockdown would be so good, but we have 0 white mana, opponent land, and I'm kind of scared about mono red on the play. Maybe these we're gonna need to get to this temporary lockdown. We got to see what the frogs can do last game though, where it just sets up such a sweet value loop. I love cards you see that are like, I don't know how, but I'm sure this card is part of an infinite somehow. Yeah, you just gotta, those are the best cards, and you gotta find a way to make it happen. Do the great search for combo pieces. Bonnet popping off. Yeah. Down to 18. Wow, that is a white source. That means we're drawing life to a white source to get rid of this stuff. Maybe. Opponent. Mountain. Cacophony Scamp. And Felonious Rage. And opponent with a big attack. Down to 10. Wow, they're just gonna sack it. How about an untapped white source? How about an untapped white source? Opponent proliferates. And they make a detective somehow. Oh no, we needed a white source. We needed a white source. So this has trample. I think we probably almost assuredly die here. Man. Well, I mean, go mono red, go mono red, pound it. Draws a slick shot show off. There is a much bigger cost to being a 3-color deck in post-rotation standard. Like, the mana's definitely a lot worse than it was before, I think. An opponent shocks and says good game, and very well done, opponent. You cast your 1-drops very successfully. Did Shocklands rotate? Yeah, no, I mean, we haven't had Shocklands in a while, but there's no more Triomes for 3-color decks. There's no more the Innistrad slow lands that are really good. So mana bases are kind of like, yeah, I mean, Fable Passage is fine, but it still makes your mana a lot, I think it still leaves your mana a lot clunkier. We're playing a playset of Fabled Passages in this deck, and it's still sort of like, it definitely helps tie things together. But, like, I feel like that's one of those draws where pre-rotation, we probably have the dual lands to hit triple white or double white and, like, able to wrath the board. When post-rotation, we weren't able to do that. Because I think part of the problem is, so you have fast lands and pain lands, right? But then after fast lands and pain lands, all the other duels come into play tapped. Ugh, and we're going to see, all right, opponent, mono red, as we play a bunch of tap lands like Fabled Passage and get beat down. Like, there's a cost. There's a cost to this super aggro world, opponent. Combat. It's us. Down to 18. Well, we'll crack the Fabled Passage. Thankfully, our opponent didn't play anything else that turn. I don't even know what we get here. Green for Pawn Profit, I guess. Yeah, we'll take the green. I don't think we're parting gusting the Swift Spear and giving them a fish. That seems pretty questionable. Well, all right. Pawn Profit. Like, you can see it here. We're just, like, kind of playing off curve a lot more than we used to, which is fine. It's just tricky combined with the aggressiveness of all the 1-drops, where you can get kind of punished for playing off curve. Found it. Resolute. Oh, they're playing Boros. Boros without Volnir and Epic here. Interesting. Opponent. I'm going to run out Imidane's Recruiter. We will get a tap land. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we're going to do some lock-in. Down to a... Oh, God. Oh, God. All right, so we've drawn every Fabled Passage, pretty much. That was perfect timing, right as we started talking about Fabled Passages. We just drew all of them. I mean, we do get to deck thin. That's a win, right? Do a little deck thinning. White, green. The other thing is it only gets basic, so it's still... Oh, what do we get here? White, green, nothing. So we can get double green or double blue? I mean, I guess we'd rather have double green. All right, and then I guess we just play the Dream Dew Entrancer. Tap down the Recruiter past the turn. Epic Gear rotated. So I'm not sure what the Boros Convoke stacks do. I feel like you probably can't play Gleeful Demolition anymore. And I'm not sure how the decks work if you don't have... I feel like they're a lot fairer, at least, if you don't have Gleeful Demolition, because that's kind of like the free win style card. Opponent Swift Spear and scoops it up because they can't beat the frog. What was that? I told you Dream 2 Entrancer was good. I didn't know it would scare opponent out of playing good, but I knew it was good. I mean, I should say, I think our standard mana is fine. It's just different, right? It's being three plus colors is slower than it was in the past and less consistent, but it's still like definitely doable. So it wasn't saying standard mana is bad or anything like that. There's still plenty of dual lands. You make a functional deck, but I think that some of the decks that got hurt most at rotation, I think, are the decks that are 3, 4, or 5 colors. I think those are the decks that the aggro decks have very good mana because you got fast lands, pain lands, and then add in like whatever support lands you need. So if you're just like 2-color aggro, your mana is like pretty consistent and pretty much all untapped. But once you're 3+ colors, that's where it gets a little convoluted, although still very functional. When are frogs going to clash? Ooh, yeah. The challenge of frogs in Clash is there's not a lot of them outside of the set itself. Like, what are the past frogs? Are there enough to build a frog deck? Oh God. There are 69 frogs in Magic, which is actually not a horrible number. A lot of them are from this set. I think the challenge is a lot of the old frogs don't care about the same thing as the new frogs. A lot of the old frogs look at this thing. A lot of the old frogs have even more the chub toad. Oh my God, does that have the arm out of his mouth? I never realized that before. That's got the arm. Is that an arm? Like Gitrog Monster? Is Gitrog Monster calling back to Chub Toad? King of... Oh, we got a sideboard. Okay, run it like that, I guess. King of Silver, welcome to the... I've never noticed that before. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'll have to build a frog deck for Commander. Or maybe a Panharmonicon deck that plays some of the frogs. Like, I'm not sure there's... like, in this deck, I'm not sure there's anything that pushes us to specifically playing frogs. It just happens that frogs have the best, like, Blink and ETB synergies. So we got a lot of frogs, because they work really well with the, like, Value-E Blink ETB plan. Yeah, I think we gotta leave up the Parting Gust for now. Play the land. I don't know if Baird... Kind of forgot Baird was still around. Coppercoat Vanguard. Well, okay. Opponent, you can have a tap fish. Let's get rid of this Baird. Out of here. A tap fish for you. So the opponent's playing humans. Interesting. Pichazia! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Play the lad, Baz the Turd. Speech is gorgeous, a lot of synergy. That is a good way to pick your stuff back up, isn't it? Baird. They're definitely attacking into this flanker, right? They're definitely. All right, Cutzel's flanker. Do a little life gaining and a little scrying. Opponent has a shock. Well, that's a problem. Wait, just kidding. Okay. No longer a problem. Because that's a temporary lockdown. Oh, opponent, things were looking so good. You were making tokens. You were popping off, as some might say. But, I think we need to temporarily... Temporary lockdown's going to be pretty important against these aggro decks. Oh, opponent. But they managed to scoop before the temporary lockdown even finished exiling their creatures. They were so on top of that concession. We didn't even get to exile we got one of them. We got the Coppercoat Vanguard. These ones didn't even get scooped up yet before they hit concede. I mean, lockdown is super brutal. Oh wait, where's the Yagra list? I didn't see the Yagra list. Oh, I mean, you can concede at any time. I concede as much as anyone. Like, I'm a believer in conceding. Like, we play Magic to have fun. And if you're not having fun, then I don't think there's any reason to keep bashing your head against the wall if you're not enjoying it. Within reason. I'm not much of a, like, I know some people take it to kind of an extreme of like, oh, if I see an island on turn 1, I'm gonna scoop. I'm not really on that on that plan, but yeah, if it's gonna be a really long game and I'm just not having fun, I'm not opposed to conceding. Well, go. Ooh, we finally found a mom. I guess this hand's fine. We should probably put mom to the bottom, honestly, but yeah, we're gonna put mom to the bottom. That's the other thing with Fable Passage, right? Can shuffle our moms back in. All right, let's see if this. So wow, Greed's Gambit. Oh, Husband Redemption, Scavenger Sale, Binary Mentor. Definitely looks spicy. I don't know why. I can't exactly pull into the deck list to show the image, but that definitely looks spicy for sure. Best of 3. Oh, you put a link in the chat. Oh, I see it. There we go. That'll make it easier. Thank you. Get in, hit ya, and do a little pawn profiting, and draw a land. Okay, no green mana, but that's fine. Oh, boated. What do you got, George? Oh, Grogor. A little different than George. Bonnet. So much aggro. Demonic Ruckus. Monastery Swiftspear. We played aggro 3 times. I mean, also worth mentioning. Definitely expect a lot of aggro right after a set release. It happens every time. Aggro decks tend to be the easiest to build, the least to figure out. Plus, doubly so with Bloomburrow, where there's a lot of good 1-drops that kind of push you towards aggro anyway. So I would expect this week at least, and probably next week, to be way more aggro heavy than the format ends up being in the long run. I think in the long run, people will figure out other decks. It'll end up being fine. But that's something to keep in mind. So I think, like, if you're playing Standard today or tomorrow, prepare for aggro. Pack your lockdowns or your life gain or whatever. Well, let's crack this clue. Draw a card. Guardian of Gurapur. Oh, the fast land. The fast land on the wrong time. That's awkward. All right, well, play an island and pass the turn. We'll see. So we can flash in a Salvation Swan. Will it be enough? But it's only got 3 cards technically. Fugitive Codebreaker. And goes to combat and does some attacking. So I think we just block here, block here. Opponent. Ooh, a Monstrous Rage and a bunch of prowess. Not good. So I guess we blink. Ugh, so bad. All right. We need our temporary lockdown. Where's our lockdown? All right. So we take a lot of. What? No. They hit another. Woo! All right. Well, we got to see the power of that Emberheart Challenger. Wow, what a hit. Monstrous Rage into a Monstrous Rage is the card draw. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, do we want to change anything against good old mono red? I could see maybe a Get Lost. Mom is so good in this deck. It's just so expensive. So let's look at this deck while your opponent's loading it. So, all right. Standard Sneaky Mill. Greed's Gambit. Huntsman Redemption. Scavenger. So the main idea of the combo, I think. So if you have Viagra, everything's a food. Experimental Confectioner makes it so when you sack a food, you make a rat. So that's piece number one. Then you need a sack outlet. So his idea to use Azoni as the sack outlet? And then there's some backup mill stuff. And then if you have a scavenger's talent leveled up, when you sack something, you mill. Honestly, I'm still like slightly... Yeah. What is the sack outlet for the combo though? Or are we not really... Are we just sacking the food by like tapping them? Interesting. That definitely has some super spice going on. We gotta try this. We got a decent curve. We got a little surveillance to start things off. Have you played much Boros Mice? So I played Boros Mice a bunch. Well, I don't know about a bunch, but several games during early access day. I think mice are a very good aggro deck. Let's get down Pawn Profit. Draw a card. Ooh, all right, Clifftop Lookout. That's good. That's good. This is going to be a game where Fabled Passage is really good. Have you tried Mice yet, Bailey? Opponent. Slick Shock, Show Off, Suspended. Well, play the land. Play the Lookout. Get a Fabled Passage. Hit ya. Down to 19. So my thing is, everyone plays games differently. Holding people to the standard of being at the PC all the time to play best of 3 without interruptions. Not everyone can play. Wait, are we debating best of 1 versus best of 3? I mean, so personally, I mean, we got to try it. Personally, I think best of 3 is a better format overall, but I think there are legitimate reasons for best of 1. I will say, I feel like best of 1 has been shown to be very bad as a tournament format. I think Wizards has even learned that during some of the tournaments that they've done with it are just not ideal. So I think we have learned that it's a poor tournament format. But as far as just like playing games at your home, I think you do whatever gives you joy. Although I will say, I see some people on the Arena Reddit that get very like salty about, oh, I play mono red all the time. It's just aggro. It's so mindless. Complaints like that. And I do wish some of those people, if that's how you're feeling and you do have the time, I think your perception might change if you played more best of 3. Because I've noticed a big disconnect where, like, my impression of last standard season before rotation was it was one of the grindiest, most mid-rangey standards that we've had in a long time. That was my perception as someone who mostly plays best of 3. But then the perception from people who mostly play best of 1 was that it was like one of the most aggressive standards of all time, and it's just like aggro. So if you ever get tired of how you are playing Magic, one of the nice things about Magic is there's a lot of ways to play. Give another way a chance, perhaps. Well, I think we get down this Guardian. We draw with a Pawn Prophet. Leave up the Parting Gust. So if our opponent tries to like combo off or kill us, we can gift him a tap fish to hopefully not die. Yeah, best of 1 kind of naturally is going to end up like aggro versus like super control. War Squeak. What is that? When something enters, you can't block. +1/+1 haste, can't block. All right. Well, opponent, let's give you your tapped fish here. Better than a hasty bird wizard, that's for sure. And we fizzle the War Squeak. About it. Even more War Squeaks. Sure. And Monstrous Rage. This says trample, right? Yeah, sure. No, you really have monstrous rage? Two-headed hunter. God. Wow. Oh my goodness. I read a message that I thought it was about best of 1 or best of 3, but maybe I missed the start of that conversation. Do you think Mill will ever be a common tier 1 deck in Modern again? I mean, so the good news is the best that Mill ever won. We'll have to do some more frogging. Some more frogging in the future. Maybe I have to add some more even more aggro hate for the short term. My God, is that an aggressive format? So I think the good news for Mill, I would say, in Modern, is that before Modern Horizons 3, I think was quite literally the peak of Mill in Modern, the best that it has ever been. So I think there's a chance, right? So it's not like Mill was a bad deck, and then MH3 came around, and it's an even worse deck. It's that Mill was a pretty good deck, arguably at some points in the last year, a top-tier deck, and then Modern Horizons 3 came around and just totally shook up the format in a really huge way. So I think once things settle down, and once we get the inevitable Nadu banning and see what happens with energy and all the other stuff from Modern Horizons 3, I think there's a chance that that Mill ends up being a real deck again. I think that's a possibility. Will it ever be like the best deck in the format or anything? I don't know, but like it's still, even now in Modern Horizons, the last 30 days, it's still showing up on like the front page of the metagame page in an incredibly strong, arguably broken Modern format. So if anything, I think that bodes pretty good for Mill, that it's like kind of holding its own in a world where yeah, it's a very hostile, powerful meta. So anyway, everyone, we got to do some drafting today. Did a little drafting, did a little frogging. Unfortunately, Arena took a little while to get going. So we'll definitely do more constructed. I think the frog deck, I really like the idea of the frog deck, and we definitely will be playing more of it. Might have to, like, I don't know. We played mono red 3 times in a row, so I don't know what to read into that. I don't know if that means, like, need to change something more about it, or just, like, I don't, oh, wait. Huh? Why is there, huh? This deck list is not not the same. Wait, there's not even any sideboard. What? Arena is so weird. Wait, now there's a sideboard. Arena's still, what? Okay. Oh, Arena's still kind of buggy, isn't it? Well, there is a sideboard. I don't know how we ended up with Arena not showing our sideboard there, but it's back. It's back. So maybe there's a world where maybe short term we like move temporary lockdowns into the main deck. Maybe we need more than just Parting Gust. It's removal. Maybe we need some, I don't know, knockout blow. So something like, if we're really gonna play mono red that much, I think there's a way that we can like tech a little bit more for it. But I am really excited for the possibilities of Froggy and Blinky, because the value engine is just so ridiculous once it gets going. But anyway, everyone. Hey, Seth, quit feeding Arena the fatty treats. Give it healthy foods. I'll do my best. Anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. So there's going to be a ton of Bloomburrow stuff coming out on the YouTube, so keep an eye out for all that. Replay YouTube if you missed anything. Normal YouTube, of course. Lots of stuff coming up on there. Also, on the normal YouTube, going to be some more paper games coming up, too. We're working on more of those. Some fun matchups, so keep an eye out for that. One more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get more at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes and they'll hook you up. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome, and I love you so much. Tuka Buddy, Mega Magikarp, everyone else, have an amazing night. Have a great day, and I will be back next Tuesday for some more streaming. Until then, everyone, be good. I love y'all, and I will talk to you soon.